candlelit chandeliers glow. We'll sip our worries away, nice and slow. Your laughter ripples like sweet warm wine. In this jazzy sultry space you're mine. The saxophone croons a velvet tune, while melodies dance beneath the moon. We'll toast to moments both grand and small, in this hazy, lazy, jazz-touched hall. But let's sit together in the mellow night. We'll drink to love till the morning light. Every glass we raise a promise true. Here's to the magic in a drink with you. Your eyes, they sparkle with every click. Sweet rendezvous over a simple drink. We'll share our secrets in whispers low, just you and me where the jazz flows slow. The world outside fades into the mist, but here it's our own dreamy tryst. With each sip our worries drift away. Let's stay together till the break of day. So let's sit together in the mellow night. We'll drink to love till the morning light. Every glass we raise a promise true. Here's to the magic in a drink with you.
The following live stream has been approved for appropriate audiences. It may contain occasional strong language and may not be suitable for younger or more sensitive viewers. Viewer inebriation is advised, though not mandatory.
Good evening, happy Friday, and welcome to Last Call, your favorite pre-recorded show pretending to be live because, well, I had to go visit my mom. In part 2 of our 1986 deep dive, we will skip the summer blockbusters and hit the first half of the year. You know, the pre-summer flicks like Down and Out in Beverly Hills, where Nick Nolte's a bum living the high life. Pretty in Pink, making all the girls wish they had Molly Ringwald's wardrobe, and some of the guys, but we don't judge. And Highlander, teaching us there can be only one, usually the Scotsman without a Scottish accent. So top off your drinks, because these gems are weirder than your ex after, well, Last Call. Let's roll this Canarble Wagon right now. Vasalut and welcome, and before you ask what I'm sipping on, if you joined us for Liquid Lunch today, which was also pre-recorded, you will know exactly what I'm sipping on. This is, of course, not the high-proof stuff, because I've only just recently come to know 99, thanks to channel member and great partner in streaming, Big Al of Big Al Presents, who helped me out with my schnapps research, which, of course, you guys, heard about in the afternoon show. But I am joined, of course, by my designated driver, who drives the tractor, Agent Boomer. What you sipping on, my friend?
I have a water,
because you are the designated driver. No, I understand that.
And look, man, I didn't include Highlander in the presentation. I figure we've talked about that enough.
We kind of have.
I'm kidding, of course. It's in there. It's in there. Yeah. I know.
we'll try not
You
to.
would
We'll
you would
try not
flay
to
me
spend.
alive if I didn't include Highlander.
We will try not to spend too much time on that one. That makes perfect
Right.
sense. Absolutely. And yeah, this is we mentioned this last time. It is weird doing this without a chat to go back to and say hi to. So I guess the only thing I can do is say hi. Hi, Netter.
Hello, my love. How are you?
See, there you go. I can at least say hi to Netter.
Hi, Boomer.
Hello.
She is our
Hello.
live studio audience, I suppose. So
Hi, Natter. Yeah, I did want to say though, but the reason I picked these types of streams because I think they tend to work okay without a chat. They're more fun with a chat. I'm not going to lie. And if you're joining
right.
us on Friday, you may see me, and maybe even who knows, maybe even Troy in the chat chatting with you when it's on the
Yeah,
pre-record.
no guarantees on that. It was different when I was in the hotel and I had good internet. I'm going to be out in the boondocks. My mom
There
does
may be
not
no
have the
internet,
internet.
so I
Yes,
will. But I will definitely try to check in on the chat, say
she
hi.
does not have the internet, and I'm gonna, if she tries to lay on the Italian Catholic guilt about, oh, you don't come around much anymore. Hey, you moved away from me, and you chose a place that had zero internet, so we couldn't even move here and work from home because no internet. So
Should have some
make
good
your
food
choices.
though, huh?
Yeah, she's already been calling about, well, what are you guys eating now? Is it okay if I make this? Is it, Ma, we'll eat whatever you make us. You don't have to do anything special for us. Well, okay. Can you bring me? And then she's got a list of groceries I got to get her because, well, no, it's interesting because came to realize that if I have a difficult time getting certain things here, she has no chance, right? So,
She's in the middle of nowhere, Ohio.
exactly. So, if you grew up Italian American, you know the Italian and long French breads, right? Those fresh,
Mm-hmm.
soft in the middle,
Nice.
crunchy on the outside.
Yeah.
You used to be able to literally go to Jewel or Kroger or whatever your local grocery store, and they had like a bin of them,
Oh
and
yeah.
you'd have like the long French with the paper sleeve, and you go and you get it, and you'd use it in the next day or two and they were replenished daily. They don't do that anymore. Now you get a baguette folded in half in a plastic sleeve that's soft because when you're in plastic, it keeps the moisture in, so it doesn't get that hard crust on the outside anymore. And she's like, "Can you see what you can find for me?" And I know that what I can probably do is go to the Italian bakery that's around the corner from me and get a couple loaves of that and bring that.
Now we'll probably have to go to the Italian bakery that's in that suburb by us, not the one that's close to
Vesuvio,
us.
I don't want to. That's going to be a trek, especially when.
Because the place by us, I don't recall ever seeing loaves of Italian bread.
Well, we're going to have to go there anyway because the other thing she wanted was capicola, and I'm not going to get that from like Meyer, you know. So
Yeah.
anyway, so enough about where I am today. Like I said, I am probably in an internet dead zone. So I might try it. Maybe I can use my phone. Maybe I can get into the chat on the phone.
Well, I will of course have recommended to you. I recommended to you on Geeky Geezers this past Sunday something an audio program you may want to listen to on your trip. But I'm not going to
Yeah.
say what that was because technically I have not mentioned it to you yet. But we'll talk about it tonight. I mean,
Speaking of which, a little behind the scenes. Okay, so guys, you gotta remember that this is being pre-recorded on Sunday before Geeky Geezers. So that Geeky Geezers that you've already seen hasn't happened for us yet. So Boomer, I did want to. There is one. Well, you remember the notes that I sent you, and I said take
yes.
one if you already talked about it. I do want to talk about him briefly because I got a story to share with you from
Okay.
ICC Con that was relevant. So,
Okay. All right. So we'll mention it in brief. Sounds good.
and you will have already heard what I'm talking
Yes.
about because you guys are all here in the future of us where we are. Now, this is boggling my mind. Did we have a
Wibbly
Back to the
wobbly.
Future to talk about or something? 'Cause
No, just throw the thing up.
okay,
We start
okay.
talking about. Breathe. I can't
Yeah,
push
yeah, yeah. I
okay.
know. Let's get that off your face and get us into the. There we go. And of course, I don't want to cover up your byline there. I want everybody to know who to credit with
It's
this.
me.
Yes,
It's all
because you
for.
do
It's
all the
all
work.
about me. Anyway,
You do all the work here. Remember, guys, make sure you are subscribed to Aged Boomer. We are making a big push to get him over that 500 members hump. It is a sin that this man is not yet monetized. With all the work he's done for my channel, all the work that he's done on his own channel, all the work he does for you guys. Let's get him over that 500 member.
And if you're
hump.
watching, make sure you are subscribed in case you might have gotten unsubscribed and not know it, because that can happen too.
That's true. That is true.
I did want to mention, though, that this is the other movies of 1986. So Troy here always is like, hey, well, let's just cover all the movies. And I sometimes want to tell Troy, there are a lot of movies that get released in a year. Even now in our doldrum movie years, there's still a lot of movies that get released that we may not fully grasp how many movies get released in a year. So we did summer last time. Now we're doing like the first part of the year up until summer blockbusters, and then maybe sometime this summer we will do the final third of this, which includes Star Trek IV: The Voyage Home around Christmas time of this year. But we're not talking about that tonight.
Oh, so it's a Christmas movie is what you're saying.
I have to say, you know what's interesting on the audio commentary for this, when they hear that music come on, the bells in the beginning, and this is, whenever I hear this, I think of Christmas time, because it was released at Christmas time.
Yeah,
that movie, even though it's not really
true.
a Christmas movie. But
Exactly.
moving on.
Although I would have to say the only Star Trek movie that was a Christmas movie would have been what was it? Generation? Yeah, Generation.
Please.
That makes it a Christmas movie.
I
It's
wish
the only place in Star Trek you actually see Christmas being celebrated in the Star Trek universe.
I wish we had done that on Birdman, so you could have heard me rant for 2 hours straight on that movie.
Why?
Generations?
Well, okay, yeah, it's got a lot of problems. Was it specifically related to the Christmas part?
Okay, no, not to that part. Well, there's a number of things that Picard regrets not having a family. He never wanted a family. This is nonsense.
And this is Picard, who is already after the bit with Q with the getting stabbed in the heart.
Yes,
it's like he is over his regrets about decisions made.
And then they do this thing with Shatner. It's like, oh, I don't know, Sue, how do you have time to have a kid? And like Scotty's like, well, if you make the time that and I want to say, you know what, Scotty, I had a son and he got murdered. So thanks for reminding me of that. I mean, it's like, did the screenwriters forget that he had a son? I mean, this is like
I've almost projected onto that a little bit of. Yeah, we had families and we took care of our families. You had a family without even knowing you had a family, Mr. Try keeping it in your pants once in a while.
Anyway, and then William Shatner in that scene is almost doing a really good, it's like someone doing an impersonation of a Shatner Kirk, and like he's doing it on screen. It's like when you hear people do the really bad Kirk imitations, it's like he's doing it there, and it's like, you know what? Why are we talking about Star Trek Generations? We're going to talk about the movies of 1986.
We don't even have a Star Trek movie from this decade, or from this year.
No, we do, but it will be next time because it's a holiday release. We're not dealing with holiday releases. We're dealing with, as Red Letter Media used to call it, F.U. It's January. But let's go to our first movie of January.
I had no idea what this was. I do not remember this at all.
You do not know this movie? I do.
This
is The Adventures of Mark Twain. This is a clay animated movie done by the people that used to do the California Raisins.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, that was a kind of big deal back then, yeah.
It is another disturbing 1980s children's fantasy movie with Mark Twain in it. Huck Finn, Tom Sawyer, and what was her name? Becky, I think, the one that was their friend.
Becky Thatcher.
Yeah, and they're on this weird trip with Mark Twain in this blimp, and they go on all these weird adventures. They do a retelling of the Genesis story from like Adam's point of view, like he's doing it as a diary. And
Oh, you know why
I
they're
don't know
doing
about
that?
that snake that Eve keeps hanging out with. Like, there's this thing. Go ahead.
There
Yeah,
was a story that Mark Twain once wrote called "The Apple Tree."
that's
They
right. Yes.
actually made it into a musical, and it's a kind of humorous look at the story of Genesis, like you were saying.
That's probably
I
what they based
check
it
this
off of.
out and
Yes.
see how much of that has to do with you know, it's clearly an homage to something he actually wrote. So that's actually very encouraging. I'll have to look.
Yeah,
Into
no, it's a well done children's animated movie. I remember they used to show this on the Disney Channel a lot. They did censor it on the Disney Channel because when I caught it on Showtime, there was a scene that they didn't have in the Disney Channel version. That's the scene where they're in the weird elevator, and then in one of the guys that comes out of the elevator is an angel, like the most beautiful angel. What's your name, angel? Satan. It's like, and the way
Wow.
they made him look, he has like this. It's almost like one of those masks where, like when you're at a party, like the old theater masks,
Yep.
and it can be happy or sad, but it's like clay, and he's holding it up to his head like a face, and
Why
he's
does this
talking
sound
through it.
familiar to me? This
You
I
might have
may
seen
have
it.
seen this. I may have seen this.
There's this weird scene where, like, he says, "What kind of fruit do you want?" and let's make some people, and then he gets angry at the people and rains down judge. It's this very disturbing scene. It's fascinating. I think there are two Mark Twains on the ship. That I think one is evil, and we don't realize that at the time. Like, he's playing like the organ at night, and I'm thinking something's wrong with this version of Mark Twain. I realize no, I think there's an evil Mark Twain running about on the ship, like an evil copy. The regular one. It's just a fascinating kids movie. The retelling of all the Genesis stuff is funny. There's this one story about this guy that's, I'm tired of waiting to die. I'm gonna create a rocket ship and fly to heaven myself. I want to go to heaven. And then he overshoots, and I think he's in a heaven for aliens, like Martians, and like they say, "Where are you from?" They're looking at him. He says, "I am from the world." And he's like, "Oh, I wonder if he's from Neptune." Like, they're not knowing where he's from because he wants to go into the pearly gates, and I think he gets kicked down, and then he ends up where Peter's at the gate, and it's a ridiculous animated movie made for kids, but probably really for adults. And it's done with that California Raisins. If you used to watch I think that
Yeah.
same group did the California Raisins Christmas special. It's in that style, but as a feature. It's
Oh my
fascinating.
gosh.
It's
I'll
and
have to check this out. You've piqued my interest.
it's a very
Absolutely.
interesting movie. This might be a good one for a Monday sometime. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely. Moving on to Clan of the Cave Bear
Yep.
with
Yep.
Daryl Hannah.
This was I'm going to be nice and say this was an ambitious project.
Yes.
Um
Very popular book series. Yeah.
It was. Your mileage may vary on how good an adaptation it was. Let's face it, in 1986, all the guys wanted to see it because Daryl Hannah. That's the only reason we were seeing this. But it is a speculative look, and it's like this is prehistory. We have no way of knowing how accurate it was, but based on all the theories at the time, some of which actually have borne out better than we might early 80s. This idea about how the dawn of man may have looked and how our genetic lineage might have come to be.
Uh-huh.
We've got to be a little bit careful here because there's a topic that we're not allowed to talk about here on YouTube. But let's put it this way. Daryl Hannah comes from a clan where she's very light-skinned, blonde hair, and there's another clan that's a little bit darker. And how did clans in prehistory maybe interbreed? I think
Okay.
that's as nice as I could put it.
Well, I mean, I don't know how things were back in caveman era, but I know that there was probably, like for peace between the tribes, maybe the son of one chief and the daughter of another chief marries, and then you're not going to be fighting each other, right?
Yes, let
Okay.
them fight it out, right?
Okay. Anyway, I don't know. I think I saw clips of this when I was a kid. She's very nice looking for a cave woman.
Yes. Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know. I mean, it was a big deal. I mean, I know the book series is a big deal. Gene All wrote those, right? And I don't know if that series is still going or if it finally wrapped up. But I think doing a book series from the point of view of prehistoric people, that's interesting. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was alluding to the fact that since then, they've started doing genomes and genetic testing on you know, what we have and so forth, and figuring out, oh, hey, it looks like the reason Neanderthals disappeared was because, oh, yeah, they interbred with, with Homo sapiens sapiens, and
Okay.
we ended up with what we are today. It wasn't that they were wiped out; they were absorbed. And
Well,
this movie absolutely does allude to exactly that kind of a thing, whether intentionally or not. So,
well, that's good. Better than the other reason I thought, which is like our ancestors did away with them, which I always thought was kind of cruel. So maybe that's better that there is.
but one could argue, these proto humans were closer to beast than human, but we're still trying to eliminate whole populations, aren't we? Never mind. Let's move
Anyway,
on.
moving on. Well, yes, it's like that thing. It's like that scene on Babylon 5 where the Centauri were having a celebration of this one race that they eliminated, and then like everyone's laughing. Oh, and like someone in the comments on the YouTube wrote, "Yeah, the other alien races are judging like their own kind haven't done the same thing to creatures on their own planet."
Good point. Exactly right. This is the problem with that you see them deal with this in Star Trek with the Vulcans,
Yeah.
and I'm sure you could do the same thing in Babylon 5 with the Minbari, who think they're oh so superior, and it's like, have you forgotten your own history? Don't
Yeah.
don't go getting all high and mighty because you finally figured stuff out.
Heathcliff the movie.
I know it existed. I was not a huge Heathcliff fan in general.
Neither was I because I was a Garfield purist and I thought he was a knockoff. And someone in the chat is, by the way, he existed like 20 years before Garfield. Jim Davis ripped off the Orange Cat. Okay, fine. I don't know. I know Mel Blanc does his voice in the movie, which is interesting. But
Yeah.
okay, you have no stake in this, do you?
I kind of don't. I mean, and I'm noticing it's Clubhouse Pictures. That means my brother probably watched it, but
Okay.
it was not. It was one of those ones that you put on, walk away, and it keeps him occupied for however long.
Okay, well, that came out. Moving on to
Iron Eagle.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I remember this. It's been
The
a long
other
time.
plane movie.
Yeah, the other aeroplane movie. Yes, Louis Gossett Jr., I believe, right, as kind of the mentor in this, right?
Absolutely,
Yes.
absolutely. This, guys, I know it's not out yet. I know he's working on it. Masters of the Universe kind of derailed Michael French over at Retro Blasting, but he is working on what's it called? Top Gun versus Iron Eagle. And I have gotten his word that he will join us for a members rewatch of one or both of these movies after his video comes out. But
Well, to be fair, though, these both came out the same year. Maybe
They
both
did.
creators were plugged into the same portion of the collective unconscious, looking for that great new idea, and they both came up with it at the same.
there have been, I have heard many different behind the scenes Hollywood explanations for why these kinds of things can happen. And sometimes, it's an idea that's in development hell, and it spends so much time bopping around Hollywood that someone else starts working on the same basic project because they heard about something, and they both make it to screen the same year or whatever the case is. Sometimes it's just, hey, this thing is being done by that studio, we got to get our thing out before they do, and so they both hit at the same time. Wyatt Earp and Tombstone, I believe, were a similar situation, right? Where you got competing movie people trying to get the same story out. So anyway, but yes, Iron Eagle hit right in this sweet spot where this predates, I mean, as far as release date, Top Gun. Am I correct? Because Top Gun was the summer.
Top Gun was the summer, so this technically does predate it. Yes.
Right. And before this, what did you have if you look for, Air Force, Naval Air Force type movies? You have to go back to what was the name of that movie? The final was it the Final Countdown? What was the one with Michael Pare? He goes back in time to World War II.
Oh, that one. Yeah, that was the one I kept thinking was going to be that Manhattan Project we covered the weeks. Oh, I know that one. Oh, wait, that's not it. It might be the Final Countdown. Yeah,
the Final Countdown.
It was one of those. Yeah, because I know they did.
Someone in the chat's probably already typing it, and it's like, I'm sorry, guys, you're in the.
That was
future.
a good one, actually. That was the time travel one. I liked that one. Yeah, that was a good one too. Yeah.
I was just watching another video. I've watched a lot of videos about that movie, and this one was talking about how the footage from that movie, because it was the real, Naval Air Force, USS Nimitz, actually, which got called away to, I want to say, the Falklands or something like that during the filming of that movie. And some very not near accidents, but inappropriately dangerous maneuvers they were doing that would not have been approved by the CO. And so they kept them out of the dailies, so the CO didn't see the footage. There was this classic scene of them skimming over the water and billowing the ocean water behind them. They weren't supposed to do that, so they cut it, and so that makes it into the movie. But the Air Force used or the Navy, I think it was the Navy. Used footage from Final Countdown for some time in their recruiting pushes until 1986 when Iron Eagle and then
Top
Gun came out, and those became the recruiting tools. And this is also in the middle of that whole 80s hyper, neocon, pro-America, America, F yeah, kind of,
the Cold War
Rambo and all of that.
We're still in the midst of the Cold War, even now.
True.
That was another big fear. I do remember that I was thinking, look, we have real state-of-the-art stuff in our military at that point. Yeah, I mean, maybe we still do, but especially then.
They say if you see it in a movie, not only do we already have it, we already have something that's beyond that you haven't even thought of yet.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember the plot. Hotshot Cadet is probably, and Louis Gossett Jr. keeps trying to set him straight, right? That sort of thing.
Well, sort of. His father is. Well, actually, you want to see another movie that goes with the same premise? See the movie Tank with C. Thomas Hall and
Glenn, was it Glenn Ford?
No, it wasn't Glenn Ford. It was Rockford Files. Yeah, Netter's drawing a blank too.
Jim Garner?
James Garner, right? Exactly.
Okay.
It's the kid going to help his father. It's the same kind of thing. His father was the pilot, and he and Louis Gossett Jr. have to. I think it was rescue the father. Although, to be honest with you, I could be confusing this with Iron Eagle 2 or 3 or 4 or however many there were.
They made a lot. Yeah. In fact,
Yeah,
I think did I see 2 before I saw 1? I might have, because I know there was the one with the where there's a romance, because I think there was a female pilot in that, and
There had to be. There absolutely had to be. There had to be a romance in one of these movies. That
And
you couldn't not have an '80s movie without a romance.
And she was throwing the feminist stuff at him because he didn't want to go on the mission. And then she started throwing the feminist. He's like, "Why is it so hard for you to understand that I just don't want you to get hurt?" And I actually get his point of view too. You know?
No, and that's always been the case.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of more second wave feminists that do understand that. It's like, look, this isn't about gender. This is about I care. You know, and sometimes men feel that way about their comrades. I don't want anyone getting killed. Right?
Exactly.
I take on that. That's really the history of warfare is I take on the danger to protect my brothers. You know?
Well, this is why in Top Gun, especially with what happens to Goose, and you realize when you watch Maverick, it is still bothering him all these years later. I'm not going to get into detail when you eventually watch Maverick, but it's interesting how it gets resolved in Maverick. Actually, that there's all guilt over that, which is interesting.
I know this is supposed to be '86, but 9 years earlier, 1977. We just watched a movie over on Netters Network last night as we're recording, Henry Winkler in Heroes, which ostensibly is a romantic comedy, but it's very much a drama, especially by the end of the movie. And he is dealing with survivor's guilt, is what it is.
Yeah.
To the extent of, if you guys know the ending of how they ended MASH. Where you misremember the past in order to deal with it, you know, very much the same kind of thing. So yeah, I mean, this is, and maybe I was in the age range. I hope this isn't true. I hope what I'm about to say is absolutely a mistake on my part. But I feel like I was in the last generation, an age range of people that saw what happened to our boys coming home. And I say boys specifically because things have changed since then. Back then, it was just the men going off to war, okay? When our boys would come back from Vietnam and they were so badly mistreated that you actually had people in Hollywood trying to tell their story, saying, look, we protested this war and now they're coming back and look at what's happening to them. That's not right either. So you have movies like Heroes, you have movies like Rambo, or First Blood, and so forth.
And like in the movie Heroes last night, one of the scenes, there's a recruiter trying to get these guys to join the military, and Henry Winkler's character goes in, he's like, basically, that's not what it's like.
Yeah.
It's what he's telling you is wrong. Go home, stay safe.
I even said at the time, like, yeah, that could be a true story if you're an officer. None of these guys you're recruiting are going to be officers.
Right.
You know? But anyway, this was, I guess instead of talking specifically about Iron Eagle, I'm making the meta commentary on all of these Cold War military films that you went into it in my age range and older. So my mom, my grandparents would see these movies and, just go, look, we got to have a respect for the sacrifices made for us, whether you agreed with it or not, and take a little bit of honor and patriotism away. Feel good at the end of a movie like this,
And stay tuned for Michael French's video on this.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right, cool. We're gonna move on to the long shot. You know what this is?
Yes, I could not see a movie with Tim Conway and Harvey Korman. I couldn't.
Funny.
However, well, of course it was funny because Tim Conway, Harvey Korman. However, here's the problem. I don't remember it that well.
About horse betting?
I don't know if this movie didn't get a wide circulation on cable at the time because I remember seeing this on VHS.
Oh. You probably
after
rented it.
86. Yes.
Here's what happened. Okay, I have to now explain to the
You have a
kids out
story
there.
here for it.
Well, no, I have to explain to the kids how cable worked. A movie like this would come on, you'd think it was funny, and then it was on again, you'd watch it again, and then it would come on again, you'd watch it again. So you
Right.
got to really know these movies. This was something that I think our generation had access to that perhaps prior generations didn't, where you could just watch your favorite movie over and over again.
Well,
but
the,
if you,
the important distinction between that and the streaming now, you have to make the choice. Oh, I think I'll watch Long Shot again, right?
Yes.
No, when it was cable, it was you'd turn on the TV and whatever was on was what you were watching. But a movie like this would be playing over and over and over again. So you might tune in halfway through the movie and go, "Oh, okay, yeah, I'll watch this for a while." Well, now I'm going to watch it from the beginning again because I didn't see the first half of it or whatever.
And
You might-
Porky 47 times.
47 times.
Porky's.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
because you would watch like the first half, or maybe you see the second half, like, well, I really like this. When's it going to be on again? You'll say, oh, it was on Tuesday night, and now it'll be on Saturday afternoon. So
Yeah.
you'll try to catch it then, or if you knew how to program your VCR, you might try to record it too.
Exactly.
But it wasn't like one of the. We really didn't have on demand. On demand didn't really. I noticed when I was over a friend's house in the aughts, and he's like, "Oh, I can actually click a movie on my cable because before it was even with streaming, it was with cable.
It was actually
You
a
could do on
channel
demand.
called On
Yeah.
Demand. It was
On
branded
Demand.
On Demand.
Yeah.
And that was if so you had your basic cable, you had your premium cable, which
Yeah.
was kind of a la carte. You'd get HBO, Showtime, Cinemax, some other stuff. It was usually a la carte. Sometimes they had bundled packages that you could get and specials and whatnot. And then you had On Demand, which was a whole separate box and a whole separate thing. That was again a whole separate charge. Now that's what it all is. All the streaming is
Yes.
On Demand.
So I guess this is this year's horse movie.
Yes.
See the horse in the hospital bed? That's kind of funny.
We need you to win this race, or we're gonna go broke.
I'm half expecting John Candy to pop in at some point.
He plays the horse, doesn't he?
Maybe no, that was Hot to Trot, but maybe it's somebody
Right.
else. Yeah. Oh,
This
no.
one absolutely was a cable made. We were talking about how you'd watch over and
Oh.
over and over. This was that. Yes.
Okay, is this what I think it is? Is this the
Yes.
Troll that's known as one of the worst movies ever made?
It kind of is. Yeah.
I'm trying
It's
to think.
not. I can think of worse ones, but it's
Is it
one of
Troll
those-
or Troll 2, which is the worst movie ever made? One of these is
Well-
the worst one. What is the worst movie? It might be Troll 2.
I was going to say,
considered-
when you make sequels to an already not so great
Troll 2.
low-budget horror film, it's going to be worse. Yeah.
Yeah, Troll 2 is like movies like The Room and Manos, The Hands of Fate, but apparently there was a
Right.
prior Troll movie. This isn't the one. I know at Troll 2 I find out later on that it was a nice Italian lady directing the movie, and she said she made it because she hated vegans, or vegetarians, like it was made to attack them, which
That's funny.
because I guess she thought this generation is too soft, and it was so Italian.
I want to say I want to say that Big Al did a rewatch of this. I think.
He might have of this. I as a kid see this, and it's like I know this ain't for me. I'd be a kid, and I'm like, this is. I don't even know if I made the connection that this is like brought on because of the success of Gremlins, which is what I always assume movies like this were. But
We got a
maybe
whole
not.
run of movies like Trolls, Critters. I don't
Ghoulies.
even remember what else.
Ghoulies.
Yeah, Ghoulies.
Don't forget about Ghoulies.
Right. Exactly.
I mean that's my favorite of the knockoff series.
I think what's probably the worst part of this movie, in retrospect, at the time I didn't think this, I didn't even know it, but I've come to understand troll folklore so much better. I'm like, this is not Trolls. There is a Norwegian film, and I want to say it's called Troll
Troll
or
Hunter.
something like that.
Troll
Troll Hunter.
Yes.
That's the one. That one you should definitely
Hey.
see.
But you know what the main characters in this movie is named? Do you know what his name is?
What?
Harry Potter.
Sure.
I kid you not. And
What a
I'm going
wild
to defend
coincidence.
J.K. Rowling. She probably had no idea.
Oh, she almost certainly had no idea.
Because she wouldn't have named him
I
that.
mean,
It's like,
I mean,
like there's a Harry Potter Senior, Harry Potter Junior. Uh, have we spent too much time talking about this? Julie Louis-Dreyfus is in this, like a young Julie Louis-Dreyfus. This is like actors
yes.
like when they
Okay,
end up
now
getting
I am
stuck in
certain.
canon movies. Yes,
Big Al definitely did do a rewatch of this. Now I remember it. Yeah.
I'm not. No, let's not go with the weird fantasy things. Okay, let's move on to Down and Out
Another
in
weird
Beverly Hills. I've not seen this. I do know of
Yeah.
it. This was considered a scandalous movie at the time because it was the Walt Disney Corporation putting out their first R-rated movie under the banner of Touchstone Pictures, not Disney.
Right.
But they were releasing an R-rated movie, and people at the time were like, "Disney cannot do that. This is what would Walt think?" And I'm like, "Well, they're not really releasing it under the Disney label.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
what I
Yeah.
have to." So
I mean,
chill out.
that's like the people that got bent out of shape. That Kraft, what was it? Kraft Foods was owned by
Nestle.
no, one of the
No.
tobacco companies.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. And do I have it the other way around? Did Kraft own the
Kraft
tobacco?
owned the tobacco
Philip Morris?
company. It was like Philip Morris.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, I hate to tell you this. This was, I actually had a buddy in church who was kind of struggling with that because he worked for Kraft. And I'm like, do you have a 401k through Kraft? Yeah, I do. I said, I guarantee you that you own stock in a whole bunch of companies that if you were to dig into them, you would not be too happy with. Drug companies, tobacco companies, military industrial complex companies. So let's try to compartmentalize a little bit. And I've always felt the same thing about this kind of thing too.
Yes.
If you do keep Disney separate from like Touchstone or nowadays, I guess, I don't know, 20th Century, Hulu, whatever, okay, fine. If it's got the Disney logo, it's a Disney movie. If it's got something else, it's not a Disney movie. It's just that simple. So yeah, I had heard about this back then. I thought it was a little bit overblown.
Any good? Nick Nolte.
It was funny because of Nick Nolte and
Richard Dreyfuss.
Richard Dreyfuss. Yeah.
I like that pairing. I have to say, hearing that the two of them are in this, I think that would work.
It was great.
Yes.
You are absolutely right.
Yeah.
That you're guessing something that absolutely was true. They had a great ability to play off each other. Bette Midler was just Bette Midler. I never liked her. I have never liked her. I liked the one song that she sang, and even that wasn't my favorite version of that song.
Right.
Wind Beneath My Wings. I can't stand this woman. I really can't.
It's okay.
I'm starting to like her less and less as time goes by. But back then, she was just that redheaded comedic actress who is just there.
I was confused her with Joy Behar on The View. I don't know why. It's like they're a similar type. It's like
I don't know that you might be canceled for making a comment like that.
I just said I confused her. It's for the love of Mike. Let's.
Do they all look alike?
I don't know who they is because I don't know what their ethnicities are. Okay,
Jewish women.
okay.
Yeah,
Well,
Jewish
that's
women.
fine. But no, there's been plenty of Jewish women I have liked. So I'm just gonna say. Okay.
No doubt.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Power. I've not seen it, but it is a Sidney Lumet movie.
I am afraid it's a Gene Hackman. I probably should. Kate Capshaw. Well,
I need to watch this movie. Why haven't I seen this? Sidney
Denzel
Lumet.
Washington in 1986.
Yes, Sidney Lumet is considered the quintessential New York director. Very respected back in the day. He did, I think his first movie was 12 Angry Men, or one of his earliest. He went on to do
Wow.
Dog Day Afternoon with Al Pacino.
Wow. And we haven't seen this movie.
And I've never heard of it.
Damn.
And it
And I'll
bothers
bet you that Big Al and Enigma Severus and deleted scenes are like typing away like crazy right now in the chat.
And I don't know why his movies, even though they're all critically respected, why are they hard to come by? Like, why have I not heard of this? Why is this not a Criterion edition or something else? I
Yeah.
think I did pick up through a Warner Archive one of his. I think it was Prince of the City, which I've been meaning to go around to watch. I think Andy Garcia, I think, is in that one. Because I've been wanting to watch more of his. Back catalog, which I missed. He did Serpico. Remember Serpico?
I do,
Yeah,
absolutely.
I mean he's a great director, and I've never heard of this movie, and I don't know. And I'm like, I need to watch The Verdict. Remember with Paul Newman, The Verdict,
Yeah.
great courtroom drama. I mean, this is, but what is this? This is about, I think, corrupt politics. Actually, it's about how power corrupts.
That's probably
That's-
why you don't hear about it. Why don't you watch it? I love, this is a very subtle thing, and I don't think they do this enough in modern movie posters. You notice that the little see-through section on the middle bottom of the W is the figure of a man standing there.
Yes,
I like that. That
it's
is,
a good poster.
it is subtle and cool, and I really, really like that.
Okay, interesting, very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Young Blood. Don't know what this is.
Oh gosh, this was your teen action film, not action. It's a character piece. Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe, in 1986. Yeah, it was a good movie, great soundtrack.
All right, hold on. Lost my spot here. No, I mean, those '80s teen movies hold up pretty well. I think, all things said and done.
This is one that I don't remember having a great deal of run on cable though. It was a hockey thing.
Hockey
Yeah,
movie.
exactly.
Yeah, hockey. So yeah, okay.
So it was surrounding sports and so on and so forth.
Okay.
I know it says, Cynthia Gibb. I don't remember what else I've seen her in. Somebody help me out. Well, somebody can help me out, but I won't see it. You know what? Let me just click on Cynthia Gibb and see what she's done. She was in Fame, like the TV show, not the movie.
Oh, well, all right.
She was in Short Circuit 2, but I don't remember from that. Wow, she wasn't in a whole lot, so I guess that's
Okay.
why it's not jumping to mind. It's well, you look at her and she looks familiar, and I probably just know her from
Fame the series.
Oh, that could be too. I could know her from, because I did watch Fame. That's
All
true.
right.
But
So moving on.
well, wait. One quick thing
Okay.
before we move
Yes.
on. I want to check out the soundtrack because I do remember it being a great
Let
pop
me see.
soundtrack. Soldier of Fortune by Mark Jordan. Yeah. Footsteps by Nick Gilder. You guys know Nick Gilder. Come on. Not a lot of big releases. Stand in Fire by Dionne Warren. Oh, I just heard that on the radio the other day. And I was like, where do I know that from? It was from this soundtrack. That's right. Yeah, this is another one of those soundtracks that I loved, but most of y'all wouldn't know because they weren't mostly released songs, This one had all the formula for a really popular movie, but it didn't connect. It didn't have a song that was a breakout that would have people going to the movie and buying the soundtrack. That would have been on MTV then. Probably that's why you didn't see it as much on cable in rotation. So it's a what could have been, guys. If you liked some of these other movies, that kind of fit that. If you liked Vision Quest, if you liked About Last Night, if you liked, a lot of those other movies, you'd probably like this one too.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So, and they apparently remade it last year.
And no one's even heard of the remake either. So there you go.
Boom. FX.
This is a great
I
movie.
love FX, and I love FX too, but I love FX. Oh, the conceit. This is about a Australian actor in the lead here too, I believe. Let me find his name here. That would be Brian Brown, I think. Yes, and he is a effects guy for Hollywood. He's one
Right.
of these effects guys. And then I guess he's hired by the FBI. We want you to make a fake mob killing because we're going to have a mob guy as a material witness in a trial, but we're going to make it seem like he got killed in a shoot 'em up, right? In a
Yep.
shootout, right? And
So
so
you use
do your
Hollywood
patriotic
effects.
yeah, do your patriotic duty for your country. Help us make it look like this guy was actually killed. And then things go horribly wrong, right?
Yep. Yep. This is an incredibly good thriller. And Brian Brown, guys, we've been talking about Cocktail for, over 2 months here. Yeah, that's Brian Brown. He's the other guy besides Tom Cruise in that movie.
Brian Dennehy is in this. I think playing a police detective that actually ends up helping him when no one else would, right? Like
Exactly.
I think there's a scene where he tries to get into his apartment and all the effects things come to life and start attacking everybody like the cops. It's a funny movie. And what's clever about this is it's kind of like, I mean, there was some behind the scenes stuff back in the 80s, but you never truly got to see how effects work.
Right.
Well, in this, you get to see how the effects work because you see this guy making the stuff in the movie
It's
to go after the
literally-
bad guys with,
It's literally part of the movie seeing how the behind the scenes is done. And it counts on you either already knowing how some of this stuff is done, or they have to show it to you because they need you to kind of be aware. And this is okay. Maybe I'm over romanticizing this movie. Your mileage may vary.
I like
but
it.
I saw this movie as there's a lot of magicians that you'll go see that show you how the trick is done. And it's ingenious the way they show you how the trick is done and then do something with that trick that elevates it. And you're like, even knowing how the trick is done, I don't understand what he just did and how he did that. You know what I'm saying? FX, I felt, was kind of the same kind of thing. Showing you how the FX is done, and yet, still having you going in awe, going, wow, that's really good.
Yeah, and it's just really cool. Like, there's the clown, right, in this, right?
Oh, yes.
Because I know when they did the sequel, they said the clown is back, right? They said. Brian Dennehy, I like the fact that he's in this as a good guy for a change because he typically plays bad guys in movies. So it was nice.
He
to
actually
hear
does
him.
play a good guy in a lot of movies, and those are usually the refreshing change,
What's interesting about this was not a commercial success at the box office.
No.
But it was a commercial success on video and cable.
Yep.
So much so, it
That
got
they
a
did a
sequel
sequel.
greenlit,
Yeah.
not because of the box office, but because of how well it did out of the box office.
And this is what we're always
Yes.
talking about, folks, about even if a movie is not a huge success in the theaters, what it does afterwards makes a lot of difference.
Yeah.
And for a lot of our franchise stuff, that includes toys and lunchboxes and stuff like that. But it's also physical media sales.
Yep.
And, in the days it was licensing for cable,
Yep.
commercial television, and so forth, and they have literally destroyed
Yep.
those revenue streams. So now, if it doesn't succeed at the box office, it doesn't succeed, and I am getting sick and tired of trying to talk to the brick walls that are these addicted fans that go, well, He-Man can still be successful when the toys sell. If nobody goes to see the movie, why do you think they would buy the toys?
This is where we are now. Hollywood, I think they really screwed themselves over. They jumped all on streaming. They used to have all these revenue streams. It used to be the VHS rentals.
Yeah.
Then it could be, but even after that, you could sell DVDs. That was another revenue stream, and that all dropped off. They were talking to Matt Damon about this while he was eating the hot wings one time, and he was explaining how all the revenue streams dried up. Tarantino's talked about this.
Yep.
This is a disaster, and it's all because they went all in on streaming.
And I hate to
And are
say
they making
this.
money off for the streaming? That's my other point. Because
They're
not selling to Netflix.
This is what I'm telling
They-
everybody. Look, when The Mandalorian goes to Disney, they don't, Disney Plus, it's not going to make more money there. that's going to be shown to people that are already subscribed to Disney Plus. That's it. It's done. And I bring this up because I know that in the next week or two we're going to have another AI stream. We have all of these Hollywood people. One of the articles we'll be talking about is all these Hollywood people signing an open letter, anti-AI. People, you should be fighting to keep movies in theaters, physical media releases, and licensing for cable streaming and network television. Because when you lose that, you lose your career, you lose your residuals, and you lose your money. Screw AI. That's altogether something else.
Yeah, they're not paying attention. I mean, some of them are. Like I made mention of Matt Damon bringing that up, and I think Tarantino has also other people. But then you have other actors. It's like you don't understand. You've lost revenue streams with all this stuff going away.
Yeah.
Because think about it. FX did not do well at the box office, but because of the other revenue streams, it greenlit a sequel.
We tell this, a lot of these movies that we share. Look, there's a lot of great movies out there that didn't have this happen to it, that just didn't catch on for whatever reason. Why FX did better in, physical media and stuff, don't know. Somebody got a hold of it, recommended it to someone else. It was in circulation, so it got more word of mouth, and that kind of snowballed. But Youngblood didn't. Why? Don't know. And then, Netter and Al and I will do, some retro film that we're sharing that we loved. And people are going, man, I never saw this movie. I never heard of it before. I love this. This was a really good movie. There's a lot of them out there, folks, and they're not getting the chance they deserve. But that's especially true if there is no physical media, if there is no cable and free TV that you might pick it up on. Here's another thing. When they used to take a movie and edit it for television, right? They'd take out certain content, they'd shorten it down so they could fit commercials into it. You would see that movie and enjoy it and go, but I feel like I'm missing something. Then you would go out and buy the physical media because you wanted the full movie then. But that's how they reached you. They reach you. It's like the people, the woman behind the counter at the grocery store has got the little sample. You taste it, you're like, damn, it's good. Well, it's on sale. It's right here. Oh, okay. And you buy it. Same thing. You get Superman the movie on network television with a different ending, and then you go, oh, there's a lot missing here. I wanna see the full movie. So you go out and you buy it and you go, oh, this is a different ending. And then you got to wait 25 years before you get a Donner cut. But I digress.
That's another way. Yeah, that was a good cut he did of the original later on. That was an excellent cut. Hannah and Her Sisters. I'm ashamed to say I have not seen this. I should probably watch this.
I am not ashamed to say that I didn't see this, specifically because it really hit at a time when I would not have been interested in this. I had not come to appreciate Woody Allen yet.
Yes.
And I still don't care for Woody Allen. There's certain movies of his I really like, and then there's other movies of his I can't stand.
I can say is whenever I've seen a Woody Allen, I'm always begrudged. I don't want to watch, and then I'm bursting out laughing. He is funny. I'm sorry. There is a comic genius to him. Go ahead.
Yeah. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
But even a comic genius can go off the rails.
Sure.
So, and sometimes he does. Michael Caine. Come on, Carrie Fisher.
I'm fascinated that Michael Caine's in this, and I know this was one of his more respectable movies of the time because he used to be in a lot of junk too. So
Barbara Hershey, So I mean, so great cast. I know it was up for a bunch of awards. I've never followed awards.
Daniel Stern is in this.
Yes.
Max von Sydow. We have Daniel Stern and Max von Sydow in a movie together. This is interesting.
Yeah. So, did you say it won Best Picture?
I know it was up for it. I don't know if it won. Let me see. Hannah and Her Sisters. Let me see. Let me go back here. Did this win Best Picture? I'm sure you could always ask Alexa, but Hannah and Her Sisters was Alan's biggest box office success, and film won Academy Awards for Best Original Screenplay, Best Supporting Actor for Caine, and Best Supporting Actress for Weiss. Okay, I remember West. I remember now. Michael Caine did win an Oscar for this. That's why it rang a bell to me about
There
with
you go.
Oscars. Yeah, it was a big deal for him in his career. Yeah.
Yeah, again, we're going through a year that had a lot of big award nominees. And only one can ever win the award, so
Right.
sometimes it's a disappointment. But that's back when you actually would go, okay, look, those movies deserve to be nominated. I understand why. Not so much anymore, but back then, yes.
Moving on to
The
Delta Force.
We talked about this one. We especially talked about this recently after the passing of Chuck Norris.
Yes.
This was another one that I got my grandparents to take me because my grandfather was a huge Lee Marvin fan. So, yes, great movie. Action film. This was one of those canon films, right? We talked about this during our canon thing, too.
Yes,
Yeah.
we talked about during canon. It doesn't mean it's bad. It's just
No.
it has that sheen.
Canon
to it.
was a very mixed bag too. Some of them were really good movies. Some of them were really bad movies. Even the bad movies were good in a bad way, or bad in a good way. However you look
and some
at
are
it.
timeless, like Death Wish 3.
Well, yeah, we also got some sequels to better movies out of canon that you go, what the heck happened? Wasn't the last Superman movie a canon film?
Superman 4. Oh, that was a disaster. Yeah, that was a canon film. Oh, how did that happen? That's another topic for another time. Superman 4. That is not the good old days.
I don't know if you blame Golan and Globus for that, if you blame the Sulkides. Personally, I'm going to say the Sulkides. I would say the first two movies were a success in spite of them, not because of them.
Yeah, they had pulled out after 3, I think. I'm not
Yeah,
positive.
because they
though.
really screwed up 3. So if you didn't like 4, well, 3, was already on that path.
If you ever want to listen to one of the most depressing audio commentaries on a DVD, listen to the audio commentary for Superman 4 where they're talking to the screenwriter and he's just explaining everything that went wrong. And he was saying that, you have this great scene where Lex Luthor and Superman are talking. You have Gene Hackman and Chris Reeve doing their best with this dialogue. And then the villain shows up and he's just like a bad guy out of a what is it, a Steve Reeves Gladiator movie or Hercules movie? That's what he said the villain reminded him of.
And I talked to, and Big Al's going to type it in the chat. I know he is. I forget the name of the guy who played the Nuclear Man.
Dolph Lundgren?
No, it wasn't Dolph Lundgren. It was unfortunate that this movie went the way it did because this guy could have been so much better. He could have been, an action hero in a different world, but they treated him terribly. I was getting at, I met him in Metropolis, Illinois. He was a heck of a nice guy. And honestly, okay, so that over time, this has happened to big muscular guys, right? Dolph Lundgren, Lou Ferrigno, Schwarzenegger. Sometimes in movies their voices were dubbed just because they didn't have the voice. This guy's voice was great. He would have been great if you'd gotten to hear his dialogue. But some genius decided to overdub him with what's his name? Gene Hackman's voice.
So stupid. They did that to Lazenby in On Her Majesty's Secret Service, where they had the guy playing the professor, and like Lazenby saw it when it came. Oh, I didn't know they did that, because so bad.
And that's embarrassing. And it was bad because it was also a bad dub too. So it's like even worse. And you're like, this is weird.
Just leave the actors.
Yeah.
Just let the actors speak in their voices. You hire them for a reason. Just so bad. But yeah, Delta Force though, good movie. I should watch it.
Oh yeah,
Vietnam, I think.
you've seen
Yes.
it, haven't you?
It's been all ages. I should rewatch all of these over the summer maybe for the
Yeah,
250th. I'll
yeah,
watch all
yeah.
these patriotic movies. I know this was a Vietnam pick, right? As I
Yep.
recall. Okay, yeah. Knights of the City.
This isn't ringing any bells for me. I don't know this
It
one.
isn't, but it sounds like a Troy movie. According to Wikipedia,
It does.
it's about a multi-ethnic street gang led by someone named Troy, which I thought was funny. The character named Troy, and life on the mean streets can only lead to ends. Therefore, he's been trying through his own determination and musical ambitions to motivate the band towards a serious goal of professional performing. So it's almost like let's be performers and not gangsters instead, right? I don't know what this is. It sounded like your cup of tea, but you have not seen it. Okay, never mind.
Okay, you know what I think this is?
Okay.
Okay, I get what this
It's
is.
like a break-in type movie, I thought maybe.
It is.
Yes.
It is absolutely Breakin' meets the Warriors.
Yeah,
You know,
okay.
is what it apparently is. I don't know anyone in this movie. There is a character. There is somebody who plays himself. His character name and his billing name is Mr. Freeze. There's also a Dino Henderson who plays Dino. I mean, I'm not sure what this movie was meant to be. I can't speak to how good this movie was. I may, out of morbid curiosity, just have to check this out. It's less than an hour and a half long. It's an hour 27 minutes.
Who put this out?
I'd have to scroll down to see.
I'm looking too. I can't find it. Hold on. Okay.
Tagline trivia. Soundtrack. It did have a soundtrack performed by Shannon.
Okay.
Okay, details. It was filmed in Florida. For
That's not a good sign.
I guess not.
I mean, to be fair, one of my favorite horror movies was filmed in Florida, which is The Fun House. That was shot in Florida. But yeah, I don't know about this. Okay, never mind. I don't even know.
The production company was something called Grace.
You know what?
I've never even heard of that.
Let's move on. Let's move on.
The movie was also known as Cry of the City.
Okay. This is something that's on Tubi, I have no doubt. Anyway, let's move on.
Almost certainly.
Okay. Terror Vision. I've not heard of it, but it's like one of a few horror movies we have on this list tonight. It actually sounds pretty good.
So I did see this movie. I don't remember the details, but I was back in the early 80s very in love with Diane Franklin. If you saw the second Amityville film, you know why. But I, again, don't remember the broad strokes of the movie. I just remember getting this on VHS. That's the other problem.
Mm-hmm.
If you got it on VHS, you only got to watch it once or twice.
And you'll
before
forget
you had to
about it.
return it. Yeah. And you know, if you didn't super love it, you weren't going to. Even if you did really super love it, and you only saw it the once or twice over the years, you might confabulate some of the details in your mind. I did that with Waxwork. So, yeah. So this is another one I think I'm going to have to definitely revisit. I don't think this... go ahead.
You want to hear the plot?
Yeah, go for it.
On an alien
jog my
planet
memory.
named Pluton, an alien garbage disposal converts a monstrous mutant called a hungry beast into energy and beams it into space. Meanwhile, on Earth, the Putterman family is getting satellite television courtesy of temperamental do-it-yourself satellite antenna. The receptionist port first but seemingly strengthens when a bolt of the alien energy hits the dish. What is this? What am I hearing here? Does like the energy turn itself if they're watching Frankenstein? Does Frankenstein pop out of the TV or something? And I don't know what I'm watching.
I just found it on Internet Archives. I'll probably check it out later.
Okay, I'm curious. Let's move on.
Because I know I saw it. I just don't remember the details.
I like that poster though. That's nice.
It is cool, isn't it? Wildcats.
Classic.
This one. If you're like me and Big Al and some of the other guys here, and you were real into Goldie Hawn, and you thought she was, wow, really,
Yeah.
really hot, this is the movie you need to see.
Is
Just
there
saying.
is there a scene with her in a bathtub in this
Yep,
picture?
that's exactly what I was referring to.
Yes, yes. I was on a school trip where the boys were separated in one room and the girls other because it was like an overnighter, and
Yeah.
yeah, the boys had this on the TV and we were watching it for a certain scene. I remember now.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
And as I recall,
Yes.
one of the guys comes in and, hey coach, blah, 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 and she's like, get out.
So the
Sorry.
idea is Goldie Hawn is the coach of this
Yeah.
raucous football team, which okay, it's a comedic sports movie, right?
And this
So,
one,
yeah.
and this one predates. Wasn't there a Sandra Bullock film or something like that was a similar theme?
Yeah, I think so.
This predates that.
The Blind
This
Side?
was that it? Yeah,
Maybe.
maybe.
This is the film debut of Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson. Isn't that interesting?
Yep.
Okay, so no, this is a classic. I think it's-
Definitely great movie. Especially, it's a comedy. It's a comedy. And you get to see Goldie Hawn's boobs. So come on. That's what it's-
I didn't know you were going to put that fine a point on it, but yeah, I was trying to allude.
I put 2 fine points on it.
Speaking of which, holy, this is 9.5 weeks.
If I wasn't into blondes by 1986, this was my decider for me. Yeah,
This is
the year, not specifically this movie, but yeah, this movie too.
Mickey Rourke and King Basinger. Producer Salman King, who we know from other things. Maybe was he the originator of Skinamax, maybe, or prior to, or maybe proto Skinamax?
His movies
maybe?
were in constant rotation on Skinamax.
Yes,
That's
okay.
absolutely true.
So this is an erotic, romantic movie, right? Okay, erotic. Oh, that's what it says on
I
Wikipedia. Look at
question
that.
how
Okay.
romantic it is, but erotic, absolutely, absolutely. I was never a huge Mickey Rourke fan. I still wasn't in this movie. Let's face it, I was watching it for Kim Basinger, and along those lines, she's got a scene all by herself, so that's perfect.
I've gotten to like Mickey Rourke later in his career, like after the boxing match kind of messed up his looks a bit, like when he was
Yeah.
taking more avant-garde. I think like The
Like
Wrestler.
the Wrestler, yeah,
Wrestler is an
exactly.
incredible movie. I think that's Darren Aronofsky's best movie. That was made. I felt he perfectly encapsulated the time that we were living in at that
Yes,
moment that movie was
you're
made,
right.
and something Hollywood doesn't really do because Hollywood likes to ignore what's going on in the world now. But back then, I thought that movie kind of captured kind of a moment in America, in America culturally. And
Yeah.
Mickey Rourke was the headliner in that. That's why I was excited when he was going to be in Iron Man 2 because I'm like, oh, they should just have him playing Randy the Ram, the wrestler, and he could be the villain in Iron Man 2, and it can be Iron
you
Man
go.
versus Randy the Ram. But no, if you're a Kim Basinger fan, Mickey Rourke, this of course was this movie where you flick it on cable until mom popped in the room. Oh, wow, I'm just seeing what's
This
on.
was
you
one
know?
of those
It's like,
where I would
it's
set
like-
the recording to watch later and stuff, and never let anyone know. But yeah, a big in rotation at the video stores and whatnot. This was, I want to say, does 86 predate the NC-17 rating?
I don't know.
Because I think it was right around this time, and honestly, it was Zalman King almost exclusively that led to the NC-17 rating, where they were like, "Look, we've got PG-13 because we needed something between PG and R. We need something between R and pornography. Something a different designation."
Yeah, let's see. Post-production after negative test screenings in the United States and an X rating from the Motion Picture Association. So this is prior to.
Mm-hmm. Which didn't really, I feel, get across. This is why I said at the beginning of the topic on this, I don't see it as romantic. There is an element of coercion here. And even if you consider it to be consensual coercion, I could see that argument being made. It's pretty depraved, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember this
But,
one. Wild Orchid was the other one that I
Wild
remember.
Orchid.
Okay, yes.
Yep, exactly.
Okay. Moving on to The Hitcher.
The Hitcher. Yeah.
Horror
C.
movie.
Thomas Howell and Rutger Hauer. Am I right?
I don't know. Yeah, no, you're right. It is C. Thomas Howell. Okay, and Rutger
Mm-hmm.
Hauer. Siskel and Ebert really hated this movie when it came out. They were not fans. They were. But I remember this was about this guy that picks up a hitchhiker. Is him and his girlfriend. It turns out the hitchhiker is a psychopath.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a scene where he murders an entire police station, as I recall, just in this movie?
I don't remember, but this did. So it's funny because the movie is called The Hitcher, and I remember seeing this movie thinking, was this an Alfred Hitchcock movie? Or show like an episode of and it
I
couldn't
don't
have
know.
been. It couldn't have been because that would have been too much for television back when
Oh, yeah.
when Alfred Hitchcock was on. But I'm like, this is a very Hitchcockian type of movie, and premise. It is. One could argue that this is a slasher film, like right up there with
Oh,
Freddy
sure.
and Jason, but very real world grounded. There's no supernatural element. This is the horror of this absolutely could have happened, and who knows, may have done. And it comes from the, I don't want to say urban legend because I can't think of a specific urban legend, but the urban anxiety about picking up the hitchhiker
Yes.
that could be a nut who could kill you. You never know. And it that's a 70s and 80s kind of feel, because back in the 60s when hitchhiking was probably at its height in the US, it was it was hippies. They're relatively harmless. They're going to hurt themselves more than they're going to hurt you.
Well, you know what
So-
shattered that was Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because they pick up a hitchhiker in that, which I probably think is just some hippie guy, and then it
You're
turns out,
probably
yeah.
right. That's
Yeah.
where the zeitgeist changed.
Yes.
Was that? You're not wrong about that. That's
Because
true.
I think in the old days it was more, okay, we'll just help this fellow American out and get to where they have to go and stuff.
Yeah, and it was either a hippie going to California to get high, and stage a sit-in, or a lot of times it was a homeless vet who just wanted to get to the next town to get a hot meal. Either way, you might have had some sympathy. This, yeah.
Yeah. Moving on to House.
So it's pretty awesome that we're talking about this about a week after I was at ICCCon, because we got some really great time with William Catt at that, and we did talk a little bit about House.
Love this movie.
Obviously, people wanted to talk more about Greatest American Hero.
Yes,
but-
and that's important. But this movie, I watched it on the DVD on one of the making of things, and they said this is a movie that this is an R-rated horror movie as a kid that you try to watch, and it's really not that bad. Do you understand?
Right.
Like, I almost wonder, why is it even an R rating? I guess
If-
I think one of the ghosts gets decapitated in one scene, but
I don't know if it's violence or it might have been some language.
I
I
felt
don't
it was kind of
remember.
cartoonish. There's a couple.
It was
of
very
languages.
cartoonish, and honestly, if this movie was made today, it would almost 100% certainly be PG-13.
Yeah.
And all they'd have to do is maybe just dial. Anything that was questionable back then probably wouldn't be as far as violence goes these days. And just cut out an F word or something, and you'd be fine. There were some intense, very low budget, but still very intense war scenes, Vietnam scenes.
Yes.
And again, getting back to what I was saying earlier with Iron Eagle and so many others, Delta Force, we were still very much addressing the plight of the Vietnam veteran. So even the villainish character in this was somewhat sympathetic, and it's not really. It's like a ghost or a memory of
Richard Mall, right?
Richard Mall,
They played
yeah.
Bull on Night Court. Yeah, this the Vietnam flashbacks in this movie are great because you look at it, it's like, this is a set. When you're a kid, though, you're looking at it, you're not necessarily questioning that it's a set, which I think is interesting. As an adult, I'm
is.
like, and it's not, and part of me thinks that's part of the charm that it
It is.
looks like a
I
set.
agree.
And you could wondering, well, is this really, or is this some okay, this is what the plot of the movie is. William Catt, he plays this Stephen King style writer. He writes horror stories, right? But he's like, for my next book, I want to write a memoir about my time in Vietnam, and that's I want to, like I guess like the things we carried, something like that. He wants to do,
Right.
And his his agent's like, what are you doing? People want to read a good horror story. They're tired of hearing about the Vietnam War, and I think at this point, people were tired of hearing about the Vietnam War, and it was just, but it was, it's a great little ghost movie. George Wendt shows up as kind of the nosy
Yes, he
neighbor.
does. Yes, he does.
So you have a Cheers reference in this, and you get a Cheers reference in the next one with John Ratzenher.
Well,
as the,
we'll get to that, but you also have the tie
too.
with Richard Malta Night Court. So you had
Yes.
this great little collection of comedic actors, really, if you get down to it. But I think what you were getting at was that you start to question whether the supernatural elements you're seeing in this ostensibly haunted house are really supernatural, or maybe it's just how, kind of like those of you that joined us for Heroes yesterday, when he starts trying to remember his time in Vietnam, it impacts his psyche, and it starts to play out in a very lucid dreaming way in the real world.
I think regardless, there is a paranormal element, whether it's coming from him or if it's coming from other forces. I don't know. That's what
One could even argue that the psychic energy of the supernatural is literally generated by him and his trauma. So when he encounters Richard Mull, who was, a buddy of his that died.
Well, his CO, one who said, "If they catch me, kill me. If they're going to catch me, you take me out." And of course, he couldn't do it because, like, I can't kill a fellow soldier. But then the Viet Cong get him and drag him off to probably be tortured to death or something, right? So,
and there is a question of does William Catt's character even know what happened to him after that? Does he know that he died?
Don't.
For sure. I mean, it could be a Rambo situation where he's still in a prison camp for all we know, right?
Yeah,
anyway. The point is that you wonder, is this truly a ghost coming back to haunt him as a curse for not, alleviating him of his suffering when he had the chance? Or is this just his guilt, which is still a ghost of his past coming to torture him in the present day,
I don't know. It's a funny movie. It's a fun movie, though. I like
it's
it how
a funny movie, but poignant. One more thing I wanted to say about this. I also felt like it was a little bit of a meta commentary on the relationship between wanting to talk about the Vietnam War and other elements from history through horror movies. Because think about it. We have a lot of zombie movies. We've got a lot of other types of horror movies that were analogs for the Cold War, for Vietnam, for whatever. Instead of actually telling those stories, they would tell this horror story to be a kind of outlet for those kinds of themes. And I think this movie is playing with that on a not so thinly veiled level. If that makes sense.
No, it does make sense, yeah. But I like the scene where he has to babysit, too. He has the hot neighbor, right? And he thinks, oh, she's coming. And then, oh, you said you... there you go. Here you go. You can watch him for a couple hours. Like, wait, what? And, of course, he doesn't want the kid in there because he knows there's all this horrible stuff going on in the house, too, right? And it's like, yes. But it's funny. And he, of course, has an estranged wife who's an actress who, I forget who played her. She was kind of a known quantity, too. But when you actually watch her soap opera and the lines of dialogue being given out, it's ridiculous. The soap she's on, I think, what was it, Susan French, was that her name? But, yeah, it's I don't want to say what the big... No, you just don't like me because I'm a male gigolo, and that's why you won't like it was like the leading lady on the soap was having an affair, but then she finds out he's a male gigolo, and it's like the most ridiculous thing I'd seen in a
Okay,
movie.
so Mary Staven played
That's
Tanya. I
her.
think that was the next door.
Yes,
Was that the next door
I
neighbor?
think so. But who played his estranged wife?
Kay Lenz
Yeah, there we go.
plays
Okay, yeah.
his ex-wife.
Anyway, good little horror movie, fun to watch, especially around Halloween time or during the summer. Actually, I always kind of felt it had a summer feel vibe to it. Actually,
Yeah,
moving on.
yeah,
Pretty in Pink,
yeah.
classic.
Yes.
Ducky.
Oh gosh, Ducky. Yeah, I was kind of poking at him in the opening monologue, but yeah, I loved all of these so-called Brat Pack type movies. Great soundtrack. This is another one. You know, I'm going to do this every single time. These pop soundtracks that were so key to the success of a lot of these movies. You know, wasn't this the one? If You Leave, by who was it? Let me pull up the soundtrack. Original soundtrack. If You Leave. Yeah, that was OMD. Exactly.
Psychedelic Furs did a song.
Yes, they did. That was the
New
title
Order.
track, Pretty in Pink. In Excess, Do What You Do. Again, this is one of those ones where you'd know the songs by getting the soundtrack. You picked it up for If You Leave and for Pretty in Pink. And then you go, oh, yeah, there's also an In Excess on here, you know, and so forth. But
These were chart toppers, the songs on this, yeah?
absolutely. Absolutely. This is what I'm telling you. And then you would go and you would see the OMD video for If You Leave. And of course, there'd be scenes from Pretty in Pink. And you go, oh, I got to go see Pretty in Pink, don't I?
So we have Molly Ringwald and John Cryer, Andrew McCarthy in this. So yeah, this is.
And I have to say that this Superman 4 prequel is really weird. Just saying.
Well, it was funny seeing him in Superman 4 after this because I'm like, oh, I actually kind of liked him as, what was it, Lenny Luthor? I thought that was a good addition in Superman 4, but they kind of. Anyway.
What's even worse is that, what was that TV show with the Supergirl series on TV where he plays Lex Luthor?
Yes.
It's like, oh God, I understand why they did that, but really?
No.
Really?
And then he was on NCIS for a little bit while, right?
That I don't remember.
They did some line where he was Ducky's assistant. So that's just Ducky or something. Like you made some comment, and I'm like, oh, that's a Pretty in Pink reference.
That's terrible. They did that they probably cast him then just to make that joke. That is so terrible. Bad. So terrible.
Not directed by John Hughes, but written by him. So it's sort of a John Hughes movie. We'll just call it a John Hughes movie.
It is basically a John Hughes movie. Yeah.
So good classic. Yeah. More of a fan of Some Kind of Wonderful, though. That was the other one that was not directed by him, but based on one of his screenplays. Oh, are we done Pretty in Pink?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Salvador, ever see it?
No.
Apparently based on a screenplay by Oliver Stone.
Yep.
And looked like a serious take on Salvadorian Civil War. Okay. It's about that American journalist, but never mind. Okay, so we'll just move on.
It's another one of those movies where I'd have to go, how close, how accurate is this? Is it worth it?
It's got a good cast, though. James Woods, Jim Belushi, Michael Murphy, John Savage. Look at that. Okay, all right. Hollywood Vice Squad, what is this? I love the cover. I love the cover.
No idea.
Well,
zero.
This is why we don't. This is why when I think we have too much to do, and then we get to these, and it's like, no.
No, we're just gonna. It's a movie that existed in '86.
Ronnie Cox, Frank Gorshin.
Well, let's be fair to Ronnie Cox. He was in some. Well, he was in a movie that didn't even get an original theatrical release.
Pauline Stanton, a mother, travels to Hollywood to find her daughter, Lori, working in a certain industry where they make movies that you can't put in regular theaters. But apparently it has Ronnie Cox and Carrie Fisher in this. Is this a comedy?
I don't know.
Is this like a comedic version of Hardcore? from the 70s? Okay.
I don't know.
All right, let's move on to Care Bear movies 2,
What's
A New
worse is Care
Generation.
Bears movie 2.
No, I'm a stickler for the original generation. I don't like these new Care Bears. I refuse to.
Of course you would say that.
Netter, thoughts on this? You've been rather quiet.
Care Bears 2?
Did you see this when it came
Care
out?
Bears
You're
1.
familiar with this?
No. No.
It's like, no, thank you. I always thought the Care Bears were a little creepy.
Kinda, yeah.
The-
The Care Bears stare, which is just them flashing.
You look at you. Yeah.
Ooh,
What the heck's the
God.
plot of this? On the ocean, a yellow bear named Trueheart Bear and a purple horse named Noble Heart Horse sail. Please stop. I can't even make it. Who's the villain? Oh, it's a red sea serpent. Oh, Darkheart, an evil shape-shifting spirit that brings chaos to the land. I don't like you, Darkheart. I don't know what this is. Should we just move on? Am I
Yeah.
spending too much time on this? Okay, let's just do that.
Yes,
Highlander. Look at that.
Here we are forced to talk about this movie again.
Look at that poster, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Look at the Kurgan there in the background, huh?
exactly. And is he holding the Kurgan sword?
He might be. I
Or is that supposed to be the Kurgan holding it?
I don't know. I kept trying to see.
Hard
I
to
think
tell.
the Kurgan's holding it. It's oh, I don't know. Yeah, maybe that is the Kurgan holding. This poster is very confusing to me. Part of me
Yeah,
thought
it
this
is.
was a overseas poster, maybe,
Probably.
but no.
Oh
Apparently,
yeah, yeah. Look at the yeah. It's
Okay.
not in English, so
Was the American poster just Christopher Lambert, like in black and white? I'm trying to remember. I don't know. I was having trouble finding the poster for this, but this is Highlander. This is, of course, we have talked about this before, but
this was where it all started, folks. 1986, the first Highlander movie. Oh my gosh, there is so much content on YouTube, behind the scenes, how it got to screen, how it almost didn't get to screen, things that happened behind the scenes where Christopher Lambert was injured because of the electrical practical effects.
lots
yeah,
of
it
lost
was-
footage about them talking about Planet Zeist. I'm sorry.
No, bad, Boomer, bad. You're gonna have to get like a squirt bottle.
Okay,
Yeah,
yes.
cool.
Anyway, Clancy Brown as our villain, Sean Connery as our wise old sage mentor, and of course Christopher Lambert as Connor McLeod, right?
So here's, I made a joke about accents at the beginning, and I know I've talked about this before. Let me just, for the sake of the monologue. So you have a true Scotsman, right? In
Sean Connery.
Sean Connery, right? Playing someone named Ramirez, right?
Yeah.
And he's dressed as a Spaniard
Yes.
because he came from Spain.
Yes.
But originally, the character is Egyptian.
Yes.
So, in other words, you imagine he's like, the time of the pharaohs and so on and so forth.
Yes.
Maybe you don't know. He's been around a very, very long time. And how long has he been in Scotland from Spain? Don't know, but he's assimilated well enough that he has a perfect Scottish accent, and I'm fine with that. Someone as old as Ramirez is supposed to be has probably perfected the art of assimilating very quickly so that people think he's been here, his whole life. And chances are he's been there for 20, 30 years working on his accent. Now you have Christopher Lambert, who is not Scottish. I believe his accent is primarily French. Did not speak fluent English at the time they started filming the
Oh.
movie. So his accent is weird. And that also, in a strange way, kind of works. It doesn't work so great in the Scottish scenes, the flashback scenes, when he first became,
Right.
or realized he was immortal or whatever. But it makes sense, hundreds of years later, he's been all around the world. Now his accent is just an amalgam of different accents. When the cop says to him, "Where are you from?" And he's like, "I'm from a lot of places." And
Yes.
that really comes across in the accent. That's the intent of that line. But yes, to say that the Highlander is there can be only one, and it's supposed to be him. And no, he doesn't actually have a Scottish accent. Let's be honest there.
You know what? We just rolled with it back then.
Yeah.
That's what you do with movies, because frankly, we're seeing something taking place in, what is it, the 18th century Scotland, or is it 17th century Scotland when it starts out, and they're on
And
the
all the way up
flames,
to the current day. Yeah.
and
The,
kind of a
the
take
one-
on the vampire legend, but they're not vampires, but they are immortals. Yes.
Right, exactly. And I think was it this movie? I can't remember. I think it was this movie. Was this the movie where they cut out the scenes about the girl he adopts in World War II?
Yes, because I know there was another cut of this movie out there, which maybe they
Which is those scenes deserve to be in that. They are absolutely crucial. That is good storytelling. But there is a lot of good storytelling. This movie is so far above where it should be. This movie had no business being as good as it is. And I credit all of that to thinking through your characters and making us care about them. You really do. This is so and you can't take anything away from Queen's soundtrack.
Oh, yeah.
In this. It's very clear, and I'm assuming Freddie Mercury probably wrote the lyrics.
Mm-hmm.
The song "Who Wants to Live Forever" makes it very clear that Freddie, or whoever it was who wrote those lyrics, was thinking through,
Yeah.
what does it mean to be immortal when you literally live generations and everyone you love is gonna die?
I think we hear that song around when his first wife dies. His wife dies, and
You
it's
hear
very-
the
it's very
instrumental
sad.
fusion of it. Yeah, exactly.
Who
And
wants to live forever whenever
that
your love
is
dies?
such a powerful through line that even the worst sequels that go back to touch on that will bring a tear to your eye.
Yeah.
This is why I still love Highlander 3, and this is also why I still love Endgame. Because for all the elements of it that didn't work, they go back to the emotional touchstone that absolutely does work. So, guys, I know they're currently working on a remake with Cavill as Connor McLeod and with Batista as the Kurgan. So far, everything I've seen in the casting has been spot on, and I love it. If they tighten up the continuity and they keep the heart, it'll be great. If not, I won't have any time for any remakes. This is a classic. Get out there and see it.
Yeah.
Just skip the second movie. Skip over it. If you're going to
Yes.
see the third one, skip over the second one.
Just-
I don't care what cut it is. Skip over it.
Nomads. Do you know this movie? Pierce
do.
Brosnan horror movie.
I do.
Good.
It kind of sucks.
Okay, then we
Yeah,
can move
it
on.
drags. I saw it and I'm like, okay, is there going to be some like actual acting during this?
Yeah. I was working at a movie not a movie theater, a video store that received screeners for you to evaluate the film and decide how many copies you wanted. If it was a big blockbuster film, they didn't send you these because they figured you already know about it. So you're already going into it going, is it worth it if they're sending me a screener? And this one was not. I saw it and I'm like, look, Pierce Brosnan's in it. It's got a good poster, go ahead and order one. But it's not that good a movie. People will be disappointed.
It wasn't FX.
Yeah.
Yeah, because FX was one you would not be sure about, and then you'd watch it. Oh yeah, order some copies of this.
Yeah,
The
exactly.
dialogue was boring. The acting was non-existent. It's like this is supposed to be a horror film.
And
What's
it's
the horror?
a terrifying story. When I first saw it, I'm like, have we gotten to the terrifying part yet?
It looks like Poltergeist though, with those ghosts or demons or whatever they are in the background.
It does seem to evoke that in the poster, doesn't it? It absolutely doesn't in the movie.
So it's another example of the VHS cover lying.
Kinda, yeah. But that's marketing for you. That's when they actually, made an effort to try to get you to watch it, even if it sucked.
All right. Any last thoughts on this?
No.
All right. This I don't know. I had this on here except for the fact that I think Walter Hill directed it, so I will give it. It is Crossroads, 1986 musical drama film inspired by the legend of blues musician Robert Johnson. It's directed by Walter Hill. So I am a big Walter Hill fan. But you ever see it? It's about blues musicians.
I have not. I remember it being on my radar because of Ralph Macchio.
Yeah.
And had wanted to see it. But Willie Brown, was he the one who's who? Oh yeah. And Robert Judd plays Scratch. Is this the one about about Willie Brown claiming that his success comes from selling his soul to the devil?
Oh, I'm wondering. I know that there's something in here about a murder, but let me take a look. Yes, it is. That's the one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious about that. Yeah. Okay. Maybe it's worth checking out.
I guess I didn't even. It's on Tubi and Roku, so you can definitely check it out.
I've heard of that legend. Yeah, like he met him at a crossroads, right? And just
exactly,
yeah. Okay.
Exactly. And I have to wonder if it takes the more grounded approach to what probably really happened, or what. But
I don't know, man. Old Nick, man, he may have just popped in and just said, "Hey." Now I'm thinking of that song about the fiddle made of gold. The devil came down to Georgia.
yeah,
GoBots, Battle of the Rock
another
Lords.
Clubhouse picture. Yeah, so my
What is
brother
the deal?
probably watched this
Okay.
movie.
Not Transformers.
Not Transformers. This was knockoff Transformers. It really was. I'm sorry, because Transformers were a little on the pricey side, and you've got GoBots at home. That's what your mom would say, and they were always these really cheap plastic.
Your aunt would buy you the GoBot, and you would say thanks, and make sure the kids on the playground didn't see you with that. Yes, okay. What the heck is this one?
Just Between Friends?
Just Between Friends. Yes, let me see here.
Mary Tyler Moore. I was never a big Mary Tyler Moore fan, so I probably didn't.
Okay, well then let's move on then. Okay. That looks like a snoozer. Look, Police Academy 3.
I'm telling you, every single one of their the Police Academy movies was. Oh, by the way, Just Between Friends, also on Tubi if you're so inclined. Your mileage may vary, I'm sure. But
Police Academy 3.
Yep, with a lot of Bobcat Goldthwait in this one. Definitely. This was, I don't know, I kind of feel like
What?
Gutenberg was kind of on his way out by this point, but I do feel that Bobcat Goldthwait was kind of rising in box office draw, in my opinion. These were always funny movies. I don't remember this one from the second one, from the fourth one, but there was never a bad Police Academy movie.
I like the poster.
I love the style for a comedy. We don't see this anymore, and I think it's too bad. The days of the artist rendering.
It's like Mad Magazine.
Sad. Yeah, exactly. Some of the same artists actually would do that. So yeah.
Did these movies have that one guy that would always do the imitations of like machines, like Blip Bloop and things like that?
You see him in the middle right there.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
I remember
he was
I remember
talented
him.
when it came to imitating sounds.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He would do a stand-up, I think, routine about that, right?
Oh, he did.
I remember
He
that.
absolutely
What's his
did.
name? I should know these things. He was in Spaceballs. I remember that.
But you're right. He had a huge stand-up career, and if you watched like Evening at the Improv and stuff like that, you saw him in regular rotation. Yeah.
We have Rad. You know Rad, huh?
I don't know how rad it was because I don't remember it.
Oh, for the hell! Well, okay, this one I am familiar with. This is, I think, the big BMX bike sports teen movie. Lori Loughlin is in this.
Oh, then
As,
I
I guess,
probably
the
would have
girlfriend.
wanted to have seen it if I'd have known
And,
about it.
and I knew of this though, and Bill Allen. Do I know who that is? But no, I remember Talia Shire is in this. So yeah, this is a
Okay.
pretty good. I remember enjoying this. I think this is a good double bill with Tough Turf. I think I talked about Tough Turf in another stream.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, but yeah, it's good. The Money
Money
Pit.
Pit. Yep. Tom Hanks and Shelley Long buy a house that is a money pit. It's falling apart. This is the real story of the Amityville Horror. That's what this movie really is.
Do you
It
know what's?
is-
Do you know what's shocking? This is contemporary now.
What do you mean it's contemporary?
Because apparently there's a housing building company out there. I don't know their names, but there have been videos about them where they are building these houses that keep falling apart on people, and like
It doesn't
charging
surprise me.
regular housing prices for them, and they're shoddily built. And that's what this reminds me of. But you say this is the Amityville Horror.
Yeah,
if it
I've
was
always
real.
argued
Okay.
that if you look past the apparent supernatural elements of Amityville Horror, it's a story about a couple that gets into a money pit and can't get out of it. So the best they could do is spin everything as though it's a supernatural thing, say it's a haunted house, and get the crazies to want to buy the house.
That's what they should have done in this movie.
Everything that happened in that house, Troy explained it away.
So you have the one room in the front that that has the flies being attracted, and when the priest goes in there, he starts to get sick and he has to run out and throw up. And then later on, the walls start seeping this black goo. They have a septic problem. That's a septic problem. That is not the devil. That is the septic problem.
No,
And
it's
then
not.
going on in the basement and stuff. Well, that's where it's coming from.
No, that stuff is the black blood of the earth that we saw in Big Trouble in Little China.
It's called sewage. It's
Okay.
called sewage.
Okay.
Okay, but the money pit, it makes no bones about the fact that it's and it becomes an element of, we've already sunk so much money into this property, but now we've got to come up with more to fix this, and then we got to fix this, and it becomes a little bit slapstick with things going wrong in this house.
Yes, like the oven scene where the turkey shoots out, as I recall.
Yes.
Yes.
But at the same time, anybody who owns a home is looking at this and, yes, laughing at the absurdity of it, but also kind of chewing their nails because, oh, I've been there, kind of, you know?
Yeah.
It's, yeah.
I remember I felt when I watched the movie like the house was made out of balsa wood or something. Like it was like falling apart as soon as they get in there. Like it's perfect when the guy's selling it to them, and then it's just like. I know. By the way, y'all, make sure whatever you buy a house or whatever, you make sure there is some stipulation if there's like a bug infestation in your contract or whatever.
And
Like yeah.
look, you're always supposed to have an inspector. You have your own inspector. See, that's the key. Legally, it has to be inspected, and an inspector has to sign off on it. But if that inspector was hired by the real estate agency, he has a vested interest in overlooking things or, you know, not making any negative assumptions. You get your own inspector in there. I don't care what it costs. It is money well worth it. We had a situation where something went wrong after buying the house. We called in our inspector who looked at it and saw what happened and why. And because of that, because he stood by his initial inspection and why he didn't see the problem and explained it, the insurance company paid out on the problem. So he literally paid for himself with that one event. So
Yeah, and he was only $300 to begin with. So
yeah,
Not that
yeah,
bad.
and it would have cost us probably over $1,000 to get that roof or that ceiling replaced, which the insurance covered 100%. We ended up actually ending up better off in the deal because that's how we got our canned lights and stuff like that. So
Cool.
Lucas, I'm
You've
trying to
seen
remember.
this.
I know I have. I can't remember.
Okay. Let me get it. Let me explain.
Jog
to you.
my memory.
Okay. Lucas is a young kid. I am a 14-year-old high school kid, suburban Chicago.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's another one of these Chicago movies. And he has a crush on Carrie Green over there. Okay.
Okay.
Charlie Sheen is in this. He's sort of like I think he helps defend him a little bit from getting picked on, but then he ends up falling for the Carrie Greens. So Lucas gets upset about this. This is all about Lucas, wanting to be on the football team, but he's too short, too small. Do you understand?
Right.
It's like it's one of these high school drama type movies.
One of these coming of age type of movies.
You never saw this? Okay, this was a big deal.
I just don't remember. I don't remember.
Hey,
but
would always
yeah,
bring this up, thinking, you think of Mullen comedies, you all see Lucas. Okay, it's like,
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Corey Haim, poor guy. My
Yes, rest in peace.
gosh. Yep.
Critters,
We were just talking about this.
classic.
This at least these were not based on any folklore. I believe weren't they aliens or something?
Extraterrestrials. That's why there were alien bounty hunters after them. Remember?
Exactly. So this was kind of a sci-fi-ish kind of one. It was, come on, it was dumb, but it was fun.
They like to eat flesh,
Of course, who doesn't?
and they'll eat people along with animals. They were in these balls, and they would roll around. Then they would open up. Oh, I for some reason though, as a kid, I saw Critters 2 a lot more than Critters 1. It's like Critters 2 was the one they always had on TV.
Yeah, but how were you able to follow Critters 2 if you hadn't seen Critters 1?
I just rolled with it. I don't know.
Confused. Where did they come from? How did this all get started?
I don't know. These movies should exist in the Tremors universe. I feel they would fit well with.
You're not wrong. No, you're absolutely right.
Like if there's a cinematic universe, Critters and Tremors should be in the same cinematic universe.
Exactly.
Oh man, though, but there was I remember in the second one, the sequel takes place at Easter time, and I realize this is them sort of doing a nod to Gremlins that takes place at Christmas time.
Oh, I get it.
There's a wonderful scene where apparently the Easter Bunny is supposed to show up at this church after the service, and then like he gets attacked by the critters in the field, and then he falls onto the altar in the middle while the minister's giving his sermon for the Easter Sunday, and he falls right on the altar, and I'm like, really?
Was there a scene where
there's blood everywhere? Was
there a scene where instead of eggs, it was the little critters rolled up into their little balls?
No, that was where the problem came from. The guy sold all the critters eggs. Oh, these are exotic eggs from Europe because he found the critters' eggs, and then the kids are painting the critters' eggs, not realizing that the critters are inside waiting to be hatched. Yes.
Okay, that's classic. Okay, that is classic. That's actually better than my thought. Okay.
And to be fair, I think they showed the eggs at the end of the first movie when they thought the critters were gone. You saw the eggs in a pile somewhere, right? And
Right.
That's followed through with the sequel.
You always need the sequel bait, even if you're not planning a sequel.
Yes. So, Critters 1 is fine. It's who was in this? The Critters 1. I remember Dee Wallace was in it. M. Emmett Walsh. I mean, it's fine. I want to say this was a New Line Cinema movie, though at the time I remember it felt like a Canon picture.
Kind of,
yeah.
Well, New Line Cinema wasn't always like cutting edge either. So
this was a ways from Lord of the Rings. Okay, so yeah all right. Offbeat.
I have no idea.
Okay,
Who's
Judge
in it?
Reinhold is in this.
That sounds about right.
Okay, Meg Tilly, like her.
Yeah.
Harvey Keitel was in this also. Look at that. Joe Gower is a likable librarian who glides around his job on roller skates. He has a strict boss, Neil Pepper, and a good friend who's a cop, Abe Washington. A mistake Joe makes inadvertently messes up Washington's undercover work. Joe is now owes him a favor, but is unprepared for what Washington wants. Does he have to go undercover? Is he involved in a police thing?
That's what
A
it
police
looks
thing?
like. That's what it looks. That's what the
Okay.
poster seems to imply. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know. Maybe this is an unsung classic, or maybe it isn't very good. I don't know.
A
but-
real life, the real life adventures of a make believe cop. That
Okay.
kind of sums it up, doesn't it? That's not bad.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Room with a view. Room with a view.
No idea. Anyone we know?
Yeah. Helena Bonham Carter and Julian Sands.
Wow.
Based on E.M. Forster's 1908 novel, set in England and
I was
Italy.
gonna say if it's not based on the novel, then it makes no sense to me.
Looks
but-
like a British drama Oscar bait sort of thing, maybe. Yeah. So okay. Yeah, but it's a good cast.
Didn't know it existed. Have to look into it.
Okay. Absolute beginners. Anything?
No idea, but I'm curious now.
It's like a musical movie, but David Bowie has a number in this. That's why I put it up here. Let's see here. British musical film adapted from Colin Mackin's book about life in the 1950s London, but there is a number in here by David Bowie, so I thought that might be interesting. Yeah. Okay. See him in the
I
corner.
need to see this. This looks really good. Patsy Kensit. Oh.
Make a note about it. This might be something worth checking out. Yeah. This is part of the reason why we do these streams, but yeah. Might be good song and dance numbers and stuff, yeah.
It's got I'm seeing the footage of it on IMDb. It looks it's filmed in that grainy kind of style that makes it look like 60s / early 70s. Well,
Yeah.
like 60s style, but it's clearly a modern film, like 1986. So I am very curious now. And yeah, Patsy Kensit. Oh, wow. I got to see this movie. Yes, for sure.
At Close Range, Christopher Walken and Sean Penn.
Not interested.
Okay, moving on.
Desert Bloom.
Ring a bell?
No. I
No.
don't
John
think
Voight, Joe Beth Williams, Ellen Barkin, Annabeth Gish are in this. Yeah. After World War II has ended, Jack Chismore, a veteran suffering from PTSD, runs a gas station in Las Vegas, Nevada. It's a drama film. Okay. I guess it's about someone suffering from PTSD. Okay.
She remembers her coming of age. Her memoirs are sometimes not very sweet, especially those of her troubled and alcoholic stepfather. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, this definitely does sound like an Oscar Beatty type of film.
Okay. Probably for like actors too, like John
I
Voight.
mean, it's probably very good, I'm sure. I mean, it's got a great cast, and
Speaking of Oscar bait, we got Charles Bronson here. I'm kidding, of course. Murphy's Law. I've not seen this, and I've been trying to catch up on Bronson pictures, but this is, of course, a Cannons movie. And Charles Bronson carries Snodgrass. That's not.
Yeah,
There's something
know.
known as a
Honestly,
stage name.
I
sorry,
feel like I saw this movie. I can't imagine not having seen Murphy's Law, but honestly, I think it blends into all the other Bronson films I've seen.
Okay, except for Death Wish 3, which stands out. I know.
Oh yeah,
And Death Wish 4. You know what? You're going to watch Death Wish 3 one of these days. Joe Piscopo, Danny DeVito, Wise Guys.
Yeah, not based on the novel that was turned into Goodfellas.
Yeah, that's why they couldn't call Goodfellas Goodfellas, because this was taken up already.
Yep.
1986 American black comedy crime film directed by Brian De Palma. Joe Piscopo and Danny DeVito.
DeVito. Yeah.
So is this like a comedic mob movie?
I'm sure it was, but unfortunately, it's another one that kind of blends in with a lot of other comedic. And honestly, again, the fact that Joe Piscopo is in it, you see this and you immediately think of Johnny Dangerously.
Yes.
So, again, that's going to stand out in your
Kind
head.
of looks like Johnny Dangerously. I was watching the trailer; it had that vibe
Yeah.
going on. Yeah,
Oh, it's
except
absolutely.
modern day. But other than
Yeah.
that, yeah. I will say this: are you noticing a trend here when we're doing these movies? Hollywood did cut a lot of its bread and butter on comedies
Yep.
back in the
Yep.
'80s, and I think that's one of their big problems now. They're terrified of doing comedies because they're afraid of offending people.
You got as soon as movie makers stop caring about offending, they're going to make bank. They're just going to make bank. They absolutely will. In fact, I think you're going to see a pendulum effect. The one person that puts out something that hits a note that gets people all up in arms and they go, "You know what? Don't care. It's funny. You don't like it, don't go see it." And you're going to see all the people going and saying, "You know what? We haven't seen a good comedy in a long time. I'm going to go support this movie. Even if it's not funny, I'm going to go see it because I appreciate that attitude."
Act of Vengeance, Charles Bronson, Ellen Burstyn. Wow, man, he's competing with himself. You can't have the Bronson movies
Be a
too
problem.
close.
And Ellen Burstyn, I feel like was her year that they were really kind of pushing her, and yeah, well, everyone has to have their heyday, I suppose.
Okay, let's move on. Look, what can I tell you? This is before summer blockbuster season. We're just going through
We're getting
this.
to the point where it's like it's another Charles Bronson movie. It's a Charles Bronson movie. You like Charles Bronson movies? Go see it. It's a Charles Bronson movie.
This one looks intriguing. 8 Million Ways to Die. Jeff Bridges, Rosanna Arquette. Huh?
How do I not even know this movie?
It looks good from the poster. I mean,
Well, let's
Okay.
start with that poster. That is a really classic, like neo-noir type style, which is cool in and of itself. Again, not a photograph. This was a real artist having to do a real painting. This is some
Yeah.
good stuff.
it's a neo-noir crime thriller directed by Hal Ashby and starring Jeff Bridges, Rosanna Arquette, and Andy Garcia. Ashby's final movie, first attempt to adapt the Matthew Scudder novel detective story of Lawrence Block for the screen. So this is based on a detective series, too. I don't know. This looks interesting to me. So, okay. I've never seen it, but I didn't know. Netter, have you seen this?
I don't think so.
Okay. Good cast. I mean,
Yeah.
so, yeah, maybe it's worth looking into. I'll put in my watch list. Crime Wave.
It's a Sam
Nothing.
Raimi film
Sam Raimi, written by the Coen
Featuring-
brothers and featuring
Bruce
Campbell.
Campbell. This is the kind of movie. It's like, how did I not know about
I
this
need
one?
to look. I need to look for it. I've not heard of it either. So yeah. Okay. All right. Well, look, I'm trying here, man. This might be an unsung classic.
I'll have to check it out.
Sissy Spacek, Kevin Kline, Violets Are Blue.
It's a boating movie,
Uh,
probably a
what is the-
romantic drama type of thing.
Violets Are Blue. After 15 years of traveling around the world, famous photographer Gussie Spacek returns for a 2-week break to the Maryland coastal resort where she grew up. She meets her high school sweetheart, Henry, played by Klein, now married and running the local newspaper he inherited from his father. Soon after, an awkward and tension-filled romance ensues. Oh, yikes. Well, that's a problem if he's married.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Okay.
So it's one of those kind of movies.
Those movies, yes. It's
You know,
interesting.
and
Yeah.
I'm getting really sick and tired of I see all these movies that are the big romantic films, and they're always about, somebody cheating and breaking up a marriage.
Yeah.
And it's like, these same women that think this is so romantic, how would they feel if their marriage broke up? And, really? I'm just saying.
There's probably a reason we haven't heard of some of these movies. Another movie with blue in the title, Blue
City.
City, and
With
Ali Sheedy.
with a quarter of the cast of The Breakfast Club.
Yeah, okay. And based on a screenplay, Judd Nelson, Ali Sheedy, and David Caruso. And let me see, action thriller film, and it's about a young man who returns to a corrupt small town in Florida to avenge the death of his father. Okay.
Let's be honest, there was a lot of stuff being set in Florida just because of the Miami Vice stuff of the day.
And plus, it was probably easy to double. Probably cheap to shoot in Florida, or you could just double locations in Los Angeles.
I was
right?
just going to say you could do a lot of filming in Los Angeles that could be identical to Florida. So,
yeah, we got the same crappy fake palm trees that should not be here. Anyway, okay. Moving on to.
No Retreat, No Surrender. Oh, this is a great movie.
What is this? Okay.
You've never seen it?
No! Jean-Claude Van Damme, though.
Playing the bad guy. Yeah,
Really?
This was an early Jean-Claude vehicle. Yeah, exactly. This was probably his breakout movie. So this is honestly a bizarre film.
It's a karate
bizarre
movie.
in what I consider to be a good way. Okay, this is one of those. Bear with me. I gotta get my words together for this. You have the trope. Okay, so think Karate Kid, right? The kid who wants to study martial arts to defend himself and whatever, and his mother thinks, you shouldn't be fighting. This isn't good. Da da da. This and that. And so he's studying martial arts through magazines and videotapes and things like that. And instead of a Mr. Miyagi coming along to help him out, it's like, I don't know if they say it explicitly, but it's strongly implied, to the point of it must be like the spirit of Bruce Lee, like steps out of the post to train him in the martial arts, and he ends up going on to this international competition where he's fighting against Jean-Claude Van Damme, who does his splits and all that. He plays a Russian.
Are the Soviets involved in this too? As I'm reading right, this is like,
Yep.
oh wow, okay.
Yeah, so they get into all of it. They get into the martial arts, the Karate Kid type story. They get into Bruce Lee exploitation. They have the U.S. versus Russia thing. But honestly, I love this movie. This is up there for me with movies like Last Dragon, where it's comical but fun, And I don't mean comical as in comedy. I mean comical in some of the decisions they make. The point of so bad it's good type of thing.
All right. Well, it looks like, I like that poster. So yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Looks like a patriotic movie. They got the American flag on the other side. Okay.
They squeeze the patriotism in there. I think it's more about. I would say this is more of a latter day Bruce Lee exploitation film than anything else. They try to squeeze all the rest of that in there. I think the movie did pretty well. No idea.
What is this called again?
No idea. Dangerously Close.
Dangerously
It's a Canon
Close.
film.
Yes.
Did Canon do like 10 movies a year or something?
They probably did 50 movies a year.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, you don't know what this is?
Not at all.
Let's see here. Dangerously Close. At an elite school, a group of students who call themselves the Sentinels begin terrorizing their socially undesirable classmates. Soon, one of their targets ends up brutally murdered. An editor of the high school paper begins to investigate, and the Sentinels become even more ruthless in their behavior. Okay.
It's on Tubi.
Okay.
It's on Tubi. You can watch it if you
Looks
want
like
to.
a classic. All right, let's move on. You're wasting our time with this stuff, Troy. Okay.
Some of it.
I'm kidding. Fire.
Fire with Fire.
Fire with Fire.
Walk with me.
Yeah, right. Fire with Fire. Without knowing anything about this movie, I'm going to tell you that this poster is very clearly trying to capitalize on the Dirty Dancing.
Oh yeah.
Interesting, because I thought it was
They look
capitalizing
like
on.
Patrick Swayze and what's her face?
Because why? No, what were you saying, Boomer?
Oh, I thought 9.5 weeks, but you're right. It's probably Dirty Dancing.
Yeah.
Okay. This is an American romantic drama film about a young woman from a Catholic boarding school who runs away with an escapee from a nearby prison camp. The film stars Virginia Madsen, Craig Sheffer, John Polito, Kate Reed, Carrie Werher. Carrie Werher? Werher?
Woo-her, yeah.
Okay, I know her. Tim Russ and D.B. Sweeney. Okay. This is a who put this out? Howard Shore did the score. It's got a young Virginia Madsen in it.
I was just gonna say you had me at Virginia Madsen, so
Yes.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
Concord Pictures, which probably no longer exists. Okay.
Almost certainly. Almost certainly.
Okay. And now we get to our final film of the night.
Tim Russ was in it.
It might be good. I've just never heard of it. Okay. I mean, here's the idea. I'll try to explain. Maybe you don't make your huge blockbuster, but maybe you may still make a decently budgeted movie, and it does well on cable or on VHS, and it does okay in the box office per what it costs to make.
Yeah.
And you save your bigger movies for the summer.
True. That is true.
Okay. Yes. Charles Grodin in Last Resort. Do you know this movie?
I do. I did see this movie on cable a couple times.
It's got the guy from Beverly Hills Cop in it as another tourist, right? The one who played the detective, not the Judge Reinhold guy, but Charles Grodin is George Lawler, a Chicago salesman who takes his wife and children to Club Sand, a hot spot surrounded by barbed wire. Yeah, I guess they try to go on a vacation and end up in like some country where revolution's going on. Is that right?
Yeah. It's another one of those vacations gone off the deep end type of thing.
Probably meant to capitalize off of National Lampoon's vacation.
I'm certain. Yeah.
From the writers of Revenge of the Nerds. Okay. It was released through Roger Corman's newly found distribution company, Concord Pictures. Okay. So Corman was Gene Siskel in the Chicago Tribune wrote, "What a waste of a perfectly good idea for comedy." Oh, yikes! Okay, tell us how you really felt. Roger Ebert wrote,
Right.
"There are countless cosmic possibilities in Last Resort, most of them unrealized." Okay,
That's a
Gene
shame.
Shalit like it? I don't know. So, okay, that's a nice poster. I don't know if who is that.
Don't know, but those girls didn't exist in real life. They were.
I don't think this is a
airbrushed and-
character in the movie. I think they just threw it on the poster to get you.
I got that reference.
Yeah.
All right, that's it, man. The Last
That's it?
Resort.
That's all there is?
That's it.
The Last Resort was the last movie to be
Yo,
continued.
go
We gotta-
celebrate the 4th, people. I don't know what to tell you. This is to be concluded, which we will continue with the fall movies and, of course, holiday pictures.
Although the
of,
third one's probably
Tracy.
going to have to be live because I'm not planning any more trips for the rest of the year.
We'll do it
so-
live then, as Bill O'Reilly once said.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Yeah.
To be concluded. Yes, that's what I have here. Like Back to the Future 3, right? To be concluded.
Exactly.
What did we learn tonight, huh?
We learned that 1986 was the time that I made the final decision that blondes with blue eyes were going to be my go-to.
I'm very happy about that.
See.
I learned that I have to watch No Retreat, No Surrender, and you have to watch that other movie with Jeff Bridges and
Yeah. Right.
yeah, that looks pretty good.
I think
What
you're
the heck was that
absolutely
called
right.
again?
Don't know, but I'll go
I've
back.
forgotten it again. Okay, anyway, here we are. So yeah, I have to look for Crime Wave too, as Bruce Campbell's in it, and he's good in almost anything.
So, so folks, I've got from my perspective, I've got a week and a day to decide. One of these movies is probably going to be the Members Night at the Movies movie. Not sure which one. So maybe No Retreat, No Surrender. You know, maybe the
You never
Virginia
know.
Madsen movie. I don't know which.
That might be fun. Yeah.
But I will look back and I will decide. But let's see. Yeah, I mean, that's really all there is to say. I can't say anything about the coming week because for you, it's the past week. We will be out of town for the weekend that you're watching this. So Monday's Liquid Lunch will be pre-recorded, as was today's Friday Liquid Lunch. My goal is to be back in time for Members Night at the Movies Monday night. But again, like I said, I haven't decided which one of these movies it's probably going to be. It's not going to be a Bronson film. I can tell you that right now. It's not going to be Hannah and her sisters. Okay. Let's put it this way: Netter's in the H's right now, and we don't have it on our shelf. So, so
I bet you have House on your shelf, though, don't you?
We do. We do. And we may have to revisit that one just because, just after having spent the weekend chit chatting with
William Cat.
Well, and the other one was, I mean, I know we talked about this last week, but John Ratzenberger was the best. But I mean, I kind of saw a little bit of a kindred soul because he was very based, very like. He did not care about any of this Hollywood stuff. He would answer our questions, try to tell us anecdotes, but his answer to just about everything was, it was a job. I went, I did it, I went home. I didn't stick around, hang out with, and He says, I wish I did now, so I'd have more stories to tell you. But and he's also a big drinker, so he missed our opportunity to buy him a drink at the bar just because it was like, oh man, we should. And by the time we, got up the nerve, he was walking away from the bar. So I was like, oh well.
Oh well.
Now see, had I been there and seen that, I would have been like,
True.
In fact, I would have gone up and said, can I buy you a drink?
Exactly. And he probably would have
Because
refused.
you all are shy. I am not.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
But anyway, so yeah, great stuff. Is there anything that we can go over that, I mean, obviously you're going to be doing Geeky Geezers on Sunday
yes.
without me.
Yes.
Do you have co-hosts lined up?
If not, I'll just get out my ventriloquist dummy. I'm kidding. I'm just a joke. No, I'll get someone.
The nice
lined
thing
up.
is, if you're not on camera, do you have to actually not move your lips?
No, I'll definitely see if Steven's available and Al again. I'll see if they want to pop on by, and I will. We'll figure something out.
I'm telling you, I've tuned in when the three of you guys are on. It's like, geez, you guys don't need me at all. You're better off with those.
Well, it's funny because I argue that I think I take over as the lead when you're not around, and I think you be the lead when you are.
That's just I do that to Netter too, and it's like I really shouldn't. I should not be taking over other people's streams.
No, I don't mean it. I don't mean it like that. I think you're fine.
I know you mean it that way, but it is kind of true. And honestly, y'all are better off if you take the lead on your own shows because it's a good show.
Yeah,
it
gotcha.
really is. And that's why everyone needs to make sure you are subscribed to Aged Boomer, and let's help him get to 500 subscribers.
Sounds good.
Sometimes, though, honey, I need you to take over because you're good at drawing people out, and I got people that are giving me one-word answers to questions.
Exactly.
I don't know what it is. I did not go to any sort of broadcast school. I did not go to none of that. I guess I just have a gift of gab.
There you go.
Gift of gab. I like to get people talking. I do. I always, in my role-playing games and my video games and stuff, when there's an ability to choose scores, I always go for the charisma scores. I want to be the charisma guy because I feel like I can relate to that. Although it gets kind of crazy, like in Fallout, I have so many points in charisma. I could talk the bad guy into jumping off a cliff. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not realistic.
No.
There's Netter's talked about him before. The Viva La Dirt League, they do the Epic NPC Man, and they kind of make jokes about online games and role-playing games and stuff like that. And the one guy chooses the charisma, archetype, and he like seduces everybody. So he gets free stuff all the time. He gets out of all combats by seducing the monster, and it's just ridiculously unrealistic, but the rules are just such that it works every single time, and it's ludicrous. It's absolutely ludicrous. But anyway, that's what we're about. Ludicrous. Because life is too short, so don't take it seriously.
Yes.
For Ferris Bueller.
Something like that. Well, life is short, so pay attention, don't miss nothing. Something like that. I don't remember, but I don't remember. Anyway, is that it for tonight? Boomer? Well, I mean, for us, we still have two more. I still have two more streams ahead of me, but anyway, we got to get all that together. Last words,
Definitely.
Boomer.
Nothing. Looking forward to the topping this off. Of course, we will have an AI stream to do at some point in the near future too. So until then, until next time.
Sounds good. Natter, last thoughts, words, anything?
You guys are Osmo. Thank you for tuning in, even though Troy and I are not here.
Yeah.
And yeah, I hope you enjoy the stream.
This is how we fake it. Anyway, you guys take care of yourselves. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Hoping we have a decent weekend. You take care of yourselves. Stay hydrated. Drink responsibly. I'll see you all in the next one. Take it easy, guys.
Good night, ladies.
Good night, sir.
Hit it, sweetheart.
The neon lights are fading, closing time is near. Whispers in the corners, secrets shared sincere. The bartender's polishing the final glass. Time slips away like moving through the grass. Last call for alcohol, make your dreams come true. One more round, friends, from me and you. Let's toast to the night, to the stories we've spun. Here's to the laughter and to what's begun. The shadows are dancing as we linger still. Every clink of a glass, a memory to distill. Beneath this smoky haze, our feelings they unfurl. A tapestry of whispers in this corner of the world. The jukebox serenades us with a final tune, crooning to the lonely and the lovers under the moon. With every soft note, the end draws ever near. But in this fleeting moment, there's nothing to fear. Last call for alcohol, make your dreams come true. One more round, friends, for me and you. Let's toast to the night, to the stories we